are these simply more empty threats? Nearly 200 ships did cross the strait last week, and that was up from just 40 2 weeks earlier.
More than 80% of liquid cargoes reportedly used an Oman-backed internationally authorized route that Iran rejects or traveled with tracking systems disabled. Ships are using the U.S.-backed Omani route to bypass Iran's transit fee demands while hugging Oman's coast and disabling tracking systems to reduce the risk of Iranian interference, a security approach backed by the Trump administration. The increase includes oil tankers, a development that could ease supply concerns and put downward pressure on energy prices. John Scott reports.
$20 billion worth of Canadian goods are affected by new sanctions ordered by President Trump after U.S.-Canada trade talks collapsed over the weekend. A rapidly expanding wildfire, the so-called Hawk Fire, is bearing down on Reno, Nevada.
Some 42,000 people are being ordered to evacuate, and another 45,000 are being encouraged to leave as a fast-moving wildfire from the Sierra foothills to the edge of the University of Nevada campus has grown to at least 13,000 acres. Governor Joe Lombardo has declared a state of emergency for Washoe County, and the sheriff is calling the blaze human-caused. Fire officials say the blaze apparently began Saturday and grew significantly throughout the day, with strong gusty winds, low humidity, and dry vegetation. At least 6 people have been injured. I'm Donna Warder.
Out of this morning's Wall Street opening bell, the Dow futures down 52 points. NASDAQ futures off 164. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Hi, I'm Kirk Cameron. Christian Healthcare Ministries is not another health insurance policy. If you're tired of year-long contracts and pointless restrictions, CHM offers anytime enrollment on your schedule and at your convenience. With CHM, you're paying half the cost of a traditional health insurance plan. So that puts more money back into your budget for everyday needs. Plus, you'll have access to CHM's care solutions for virtual appointments, prescription savings, surgery support, and more. My family and I joined in 2018, and it's changed our lives for the better. We love paying way less while helping other believers afford their medical bills. Take the leap of faith and see why Christians across the nation are better with CHM.
Get started by calling 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS for a 50% credit towards your first month. That's 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS.
The health of the king is making news this week in Norway.
Crown Prince Haakon has visited his father, King Harald of Norway, in hospital after the king's health deteriorated over the weekend. The 89-year-old monarch, who's been on sick leave for several weeks, was admitted to the National Hospital a week ago. The royal palace says he's now receiving antibiotics for a bacterial blood infection and has responded to treatment, adding that his condition is stable. Last week, the palace said the king had hemolytic anemia and was being treated with cortisone, leading to fluid accumulation in the body that required hospital treatment. Harald, who's been monarch since 1991, has been in and out of hospital several times in recent years. I'm Lawrence Brooks.
Will Iceland join the European Union? The decision is dividing the nation of 400,000. Supporters believe that EU membership offers protection and economic benefits. Opponents argue Iceland already enjoys European integration without losing control of its resources. News and analysis, townhall.com. Suspect in multiple murders has been found dead.
Authorities say a man suspected of killing 5 people has been found dead inside a vehicle in Enumclaw, Washington. The discovery came a day after 5 bodies were discovered on a rural property outside of Portland, Oregon. The Washington County Sheriff's Office says investigators believe the suspect, 36-year-old Benjamin Charles Parker, killed himself. The Sheriff's Office says authorities responded early Saturday to reports of a vehicle fire at a property at Forest Grove, about 30 miles west of Portland. Responders found the remains of the 5 people and several domestic animals. Officials say they're working to determine the identity of the victims. I'm Mike Hemp.
Tropical storm Moke is passing to the south of Hawaii's Big Island. It's close enough to dump a foot or more of rain on areas already dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Lala. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. Let's have a listen. What does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody.
Mm-hmm. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah. Well, we had an exciting weekend of football.
Man, oh man. I didn't watch the game until Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, I woke up and I'm like, I wonder how the games went. And I strolled over to Max Preps and checked a few scores. And then I saw it.
Yeah.
I have this on authority because this is what they said at the end of the game.
Yeah.
The Roswell Coyotes and the Hobbs Eagles tied for 8th place of the highest scoring game in New Mexico high school football history.
Yeah, it was the 8th highest score.
64 to 60.
Yeah,
it was
the final score.
It
64,
was
63.
64. No, 64.
Okay, I mean whatever it was.
124 points scored. I know because this has been like in my head all week. 124 points scored over the course of the game, and man, oh man, what a slobber knocker that was.
Yeah, it was a crazy game. That was kind of the one I was focusing on Friday because that was when we put on the radio, and we had some growing pains. We'll get better, but
it's a new system, it's a new format, and we're throwing everything against the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a crazy night. Of course, Goddard lost a knockdown drag out to Lovington in Lovington on Friday, and then
it's funny.
Carlsbad got a win over Artesia.
They did. Which, it's funny, though, because when you look at a score like the Goddard game, you're like, oh, it was kind of a low-scoring game. That's because they were destroying each other between the end zones. Like, between the 20s, there was a battle.
Yeah, there was but it makes things a little interesting next week. Because at those Hobbs Eagles, that Roswell, it just literally was... The only reason they stopped scoring because the time ran out. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
If whatever offense touched the ball was pretty. I think they had one punt all night. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Four field goals. I think one punt. And he kept saying, I cannot remember the name of the quarterback offhand, but Art Sandoval kept saying, he's really something special. Like 7 times he said that. He's like, I'm going to say it again. He's something special. Like, we get it, Art. All right. He's good. Good job. We did good.
It was a good night. But the thing I thought was interesting is that Hobbs Eagles, now Artesia and Hobbs square off next week.
Yep.
And clearly Hobbs can score.
Yeah. But
Artesia, I'm just wondering, are we going to see for the first time in history not history, I don't know but first time in a long time I remember is Artesia could possibly be an 0-2.
Yeah,
they fell to Carlsbad. And if I remember in the Max Preps rankings prior to going in, I'm going to say Hobbs Eagles are like 2 in the state.
I know Goddard was 4 before. Well, I think Goddard was 4 Saturday when I checked.
And
on
Carlsbad's
Saturday.
like 5. Was like 5. But all I know is after seeing what Hobbs did and then seeing Carlsbad fell, I'm just like, what this? I mean, how weird would it be if Artesia went 0-2 to start the season?
It's, you know what it does? It's going to put a fire under them, though. That would, if anything is going to light a fire under the Bulldogs starting a season 0-2, that'll do it.
And we forget we have a much bigger district now, so they start district play like the 3rd weekend, 4th weekend. So
we brought in Piedra Vista. We brought in, I think, Alamo. The big one is this coming Friday. Our Coyotes are crossing state lines heading to Canyon.
Yeah. Now, that's
Canyon,
not a
Texas.
district game, but that's a road trip game. That's not a district opponent.
No, but that's insane that we're going all the way to Kansas. I'm like, we have to go into football country.
That game will be on video, KSVPTV.com.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have Goddard Rocket matchup at home on Friday here on the radio. So, but either way, congratulations to the Coyotes. But Goddard played a hard-fought game, too. That's just... It's Lovington. They're a tough team too, and a lot of blue, so much blue,
so much.
but so it's going to set up the table for a pretty exciting Friday night here. So, let me give. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
I
was going to say I got let me give you the rundown. I got a long interview this hour, so we're going to replay some interviews this morning. Chaves County Manager Bill Williams joined us to talk about last week's commission meeting, talking a little bit about the vote that's now coming up with the gross receipts tax. It's muy popular online right now. Mm-hmm. So we'll play that interview for you here in a bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to play our interview we had last week with the folks from Community Bible Study. And they started their women's class. They start the men's this week. And but anyway, you can jump in anytime, and we'll play that interview. If you're looking for a good Bible study group, got a couple to offer you here, and we'll play that for you in next hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we'll play our interview. We had Tamara Schubert from the Chaves County Extension Office joining us last Tuesday, talking about fair season and fall season, really, with all the things coming up. And believe it or not, their little every year they do their holiday workshop where they learn Christmas and crafts and foods and everything. Like one of their that's like coming up in a month. So
dude, there's a guy in town. And it's not my Santa, because my Santa's, he's another one, somebody entirely.
Yeah.
But there's a guy who drives a white, I think it's like an SUV, and it's decked out in Christmas stuff. He's got like reindeer on the back. He's got like elf, like the antlers.
I may have seen it once.
And he has on the side the Roswell Santa.
Yeah.
His license plate even says like RSNTA or something like that, which is fine until you're sitting in an intersection in 107-degree weather, and you look over and you see the Roswell Santa. It's just like, what happened? This is the darkest timeline.
Well,
it feels like you're throwing Christmas in my face when I'm in here dying.
Christmas in July. There it is.
It's not even that cool in Christmas usually around here. We don't get our cold snap till like January.
No. So. Although that one year we did get Goliath the next day. So
we did.
So good times. It is 7:13. Let us get you up to date on the weather. No fear of snow. No rain for that matter. I'm looking at it. So sorry about that. But if you like hot,
you know I do.
Well, you got a lot of it.
The National Championship Air Races return to Roswell, New Mexico. Get your tickets today at airrace.org.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll stay at about 105 on the afternoon high today, with high pressure in the central plains and the southern plains. That's covering our area too. Should be sunny. Overnight looks clear. We'll dip into the low 70s, 100 to 105 for the afternoon high again on Tuesday. It looks like we'll stay sunny. Pretty hot on Wednesday and Thursday too. Sunny and about 100. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 73 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 27%. Winds are currently out of the west at 3 miles per hour. We are looking at sunny and hot and a high of 105 today. There is a heat advisory kicking in at noon, remaining in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. South winds today at around 5 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 73. South winds 10 at 5 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunny and hot, 104 for a high. Winds out of the northwest at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, cooling down to 100. Northwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, not 3 digits, but 2 digits. High of 98 on Thursday. They say we got a chance of rain Thursday night, like a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. That's what they're saying right now. And then sunny and a high of 99 on Friday, then 101 Saturday, 101 on Sunday. So we'll see. We'll see if we get some rain. Cross your fingers. All right. It is 7:15. We're going to take one It'll be about a 4-minute break that includes your Roswell Livestock Report with Smiley Wooten. We'll take that break real quick, and then we'll play our interview with Chaves County Manager Bill Williams. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
People are often surprised by what they find here. More expertise than people expect. Advanced technology. Board-certified physicians. Care you might expect to travel hours for. Right here. We've never believed where you live should determine the care you receive. Close to family, close to home. We're here. Artesia General Hospital.
Did you know that gun deaths are the leading cause of death for children and teens in New Mexico? Half of those deaths are suicide by a gun.
As gun owners, we can help keep New Mexico's children and teens safe by securing all our firearms.
Store your guns locked up, unloaded, and separate from ammunition.
That's right, locked up, unloaded, and separate from ammunition.
It's one simple thing we as gun owners can do.
Keep me and my friends safe and lock up your guns. Thank you.
Brought to you by New Mexicans to prevent gun violence.
Good morning. This is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good August run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves, light yearlings, pairs, bred cows. We expect to sell 1,100 head. Break it down like this: 150, 175 weight cows and bulls, 150, 175 pairs, bred cows, 700, 750 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 30, 35 cow-calf pairs, mostly black and red Angus, Brangus cross cows with black and red calves. Cows good flesh, 5 to 10 years old. 60 bred cows. RL Land and Cattle Company, Dexter, New Mexico. X-quality black whiteface, red whiteface crossbred cows bred to Angus and Charolais bulls. Good flesh, 5 to 10 years old. 24 bred cows, the 2T Partnership, Pecos, Texas. Extra-quality English crossbred cows bred to Angus bulls, 9 to 11 years old. 37 black Holstein light yearlings off one dairy. Extra-quality black Holstein crosses, mostly heifers, 575, 700 pounds. Also 50 Holstein steers off the same dairy, 350. 550 pounds. 78 steer calves, a national ranch at Carlsbad, New Mexico. Ex-quality black whiteface Angus crossbred calves. Cattle wean 50 days. Virus Shield 6, 8-way, medium condition, 450. 600 pounds. 32 calves, Seven Rivers Ranch at Corona, New Mexico. Extra-quality black whiteface Angus crossbred calves. Cattle wean 45 days. 3 rounds of shots. Thin to medium condition, 350. 450 pounds. 41 calves, CV Bar Ranch, Causey, New Mexico. Ex-quality black whiteface and Charolais crossbred calves. Virus Shield 6, 8-way, 400. 550 pounds. 45 calves, CNR Ranch, Marfa, Texas. Ex-quality black whiteface, red whiteface, and whiteface English crossbred calves. Shots at Brandon, 450. 575 pounds. And 34 calves, the White House Ranch at Daddle, New Mexico. Excellent quality, mostly Angus crossbreds, 1 round of shots, 350, 600 pounds. Sale time this morning will be 9 o'clock. Pairs, bred cows, 9:45. Be selling calves and yearlings around 10:30. We expect to sell 1,100 head today. This is Smiley Wooten.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
Yes, in studio this morning, Chaves County Manager Bill Williams back with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm
good.
Ready for a weekend.
Yeah, I bet you've. Of course, it's been a busy week for Chaves County. Yeah, for everybody. Yeah, but obviously, county commission meeting this week was a popular one with the because the commission talking about the gross receipts tax.
And actually we had 2 county commission meetings because we had a special meeting just to provide additional public input.
Sure.
Before they made their decision.
So it's been a couple meetings since we last spoke here, but we're at a point now where we're now it's, I guess we could say it's going to the people now.
To the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually there was yet another special meeting. So we've met 3 times since you and I last spoke. We had to have a special meeting. There are certain requirements to advertise for an ordinance, which has power of law.
Sure.
So you have to advertise that a certain length of time ahead, and you have to have a draft of the ordinance available for the public to view.
Sure.
And so we called a special meeting. All this came on so quickly. EDC presented this idea, I guess, to the city and the county at the same time, and the window to actually get it on the ballot was extremely short.
Sure.
And so we had to have a special meeting just to get permission to publish, and had to have the ordinance ready to go so it was available for people to read. And then we had a special meeting just to discuss, and then they tabled it, and then they came back yesterday, of course, and took it off the table and continued to discuss, and they decided that their preference was to allow the taxpayers to decide at the ballot.
Good deal. So, for people, because the internet is the internet, and there's a whole lot of things. Can you just put cut all the people speak, and just give us what they're voting on in November now, and just kind of say, this is what we're talking about. I know a lot of people are saying a lot of things online, and there's a lot of confusion on things. And so I just kind of give people the straight scoop. This is what you're voting on in November.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you more information than my usual spiel. I'm gonna give you more information than you're asking for. So as a statutory county or a statutory municipality, as the city is,
sure,
we can't do anything without the authority of the state. You can only do those things which are authorized by statute. So
Gotcha.
The state came up with a Local Economic Development Act local option gross receipts tax.
Okay.
So if you enact this in your county, then you can go to the voters and say, I would like you to allow me to tax you on gross receipts, just, what you pay for over the counter.
Right.
And that excludes food and some other items, food, agricultural products. But generally, it's
you go to the store and buy a beach umbrella or clothes or something. There's a gross receipts,
diapers,
sure.
All these different things. They do create tax and
sure.
or gross receipts
sure.
tax. It's not a sales tax. It's a weird little thing, but anyway. So the question has been over the last couple of weeks. Like I say, we have to advertise for an ordinance that has power of law, and so we have to do the advertising. We have to have the public hearings and all pertaining to the ordinance. The ordinance was passed, which allows then the ability for a county or the city to go ahead and request the clerk to put it on the ballot in
Gotcha.
November for the voters. So they could have done one of two things. They could have not approved the ordinance, which would have meant nothing moved forward.
Right.
Or in this case, they approved the ordinance, so now there's a law in the books, and the one for Chaves County sunsets in 5 years. So after 5 years, this will no longer exist in the county.
Got it.
Unless they go through this whole process again and redo it. The city, I think, went with a 10-year sunset clause in theirs. So it will go to the taxpayers or to the voters to decide in November if they would like to do this. The monies can only be used for local economic development. However, there are a lot of twists and turns, as most things. Economic development
qualifies as local
can be a lot of different things. For instance, you can use it for infrastructure, and I don't know if this is correct or not, so I'm going to add to the fuel on the fire. Maybe I don't know. I don't mean to. But for instance, local economic development encompasses a lot of things, like things that people, when they're in town spending money, tourists would like to see. Perhaps a museum.
Gotcha.
Our
so
museum
cultural,
cultural
or entertainment
enhancements,
things
those
or whatever.
Kind of
yeah.
But it's designed to help businesses establish. These are things we've been doing for quite some time. We've been funding the Roswell Chaves County Economic Development Corporation. The city and the county both have been funding them for quite some time.
And then kind of their thing is to bring businesses
in
to our area.
Correct.
Yeah.
And they're constantly have businesses in the pipeline. If someone were to come to the county and say, hey, I want to build a sawmill because of our great forests here.
So basically,
they would come to us and we would say, well, we're going to send you over to the Local Economic Development Corporation, who we enlist to make sure you're a real entity and that this business is worth pursuing in the community. And like I say, so if you're putting in a sawmill, they're probably going to identify pretty quick, well, your business model means you're going to have to haul logs from, miles and miles away to do this. So this may not be the best fit. And so I kind of work through those details.
Okay. So So, and this is where I guess I'm a little, because I understand where the gross receipts, but is there going to be a city, the cities have their own one, and then the county has their own one?
Yes.
But I guess where I'm how much does the gross receipts benefit the county? Whereas I know, like in the city, the grocery stores, all the, the department stores, things that, whereas the county has less of that. Where do they get, where do they get their income through gross receipts? Where I don't think they get as much as from departments and sort of things. That's more of a city one. Where does the county get theirs through that? How does it then generate that gross receipts?
Through the businesses in the county.
Gotcha.
But, and that's a distinction you should make here
Yeah.
too, is that the city was authorized by the Local Economic Development Act, local option gross receipts language, to implement 2 1/8 or 1/4%
Gotcha.
tax. The counties are only able to enact an 1/8 tax.
Gotcha.
So, first of all, there's less businesses in the county, but there are people that pay gross
That's
receipts.
what I was wondering. Is this a significant amount of money coming in through the county? Whereas I could see the city, yes, but the county, I'm like, I don't know if they generate enough.
All this adds up. What I've heard is the estimated income for the city, if that were approved at 1/4%, would be about $4 million a year, probably a little less, but in the neighborhood of $4 million. And the county with the 1/8, that would be in the neighborhood of $2 million a year. So there's a potential for maybe as much as $6 million going to local economic development. And then that has to be managed through a board that determines what the projects would be and what to move forward.
And so because I know the EDC is obviously, they're kind of the ones quarterbacking this one a little bit and promoting we should do this. So in essence, if the city, say the voters pass in both city, county, then in essence, would the EDC kind of say they're the ones that are going to be, I'm not saying the overseers, but at least the ones that kind of say this is where you should do with that money, or how does that work?
And I personally don't know exactly what the next step is going to be.
Yeah.
There has to be an oversight board.
Gotcha.
Now, is that a third party, or because it's made, the board of the local EDC is made up of city and county folks, it's made up of municipal elected officials, and made up of county elected officials as well as county and city representatives, and that's the makeup of the board.
Okay.
Will it be that board, or will it be another board that has to be put together to determine how those funds are used?
Yeah, because I wonder.
That's the part that I personally am not real sure of either. Now, the money that county, if this were to pass, and monies came to the county, those counties those monies would be in the county coffers.
Gotcha.
Any monies that the city were to collect, assuming it passed, would go into city coffers. I think that there are some mixing of funds, which is why the board comes into play and says, okay, this project benefits both the city and the county, so the board proposes that we support this project, and funds could come from both places.
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of questions.
And that's where I was saying, and this is where I think where the internet's going, because people are saying this, and this is where, and I'm going to bring Mike in at some point and talk more about this. But I'm just kind of, there's just so much going on out there, and I'm like, first of all, it's not automatic. People are talking oh, we're going to get this. No, first off, all that was done was saying you get the right to decide whether this happens in November.
So
that's all that's happened.
So what happened? Two things. One, the ordinance was passed, which empowered the county and empowered the city to go the next step, which is to provide resolution to tell the clerk that we would like to see this on the ballot, and then it goes to the voters, of course.
Yeah, and
it's not a foregone conclusion that it'll pass. In fact, there's a lot of
there's a lot of opposition
that it may not.
Well, and I know a lot of people, again, going online, you look at track record of Roswell, and with the safety complex discussion that went down and ultimately failed years ago. They're kind of pointing back to that time now, and it's like, well, you don't want to support then, and so look, over the next month here, we're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna bring Mike in. I hope some city folks want to talk to us too on some of this, and give you the information, and then come November, you decide what you think's best for this. Like you said, I understand the concept. and I get what they're doing here, but I also know government needs to move glacial for the very reason that we don't want to this money get misappropriated, done when it's not supposed to be earmarked for what it is, and then it doesn't get earmarked for what it's for. And so I want to see those checks and balances established before I'm just really ready to jump forward on something.
Well, Commissioner Taylor's opinion on it, and he stated it very eloquently, and I'm sure I won't do him justice.
Yeah.
The meeting that they had Wednesday night, he stated there's approximately 37,000 registered voters in Chaves County.
Sure.
And so that in and of itself is, and this is me, not his quote, but
sure.
That in and of itself, given that there's twice that many people in the county, is kind of a travesty that half the people are deciding what everybody else is going to do when
Absolutely.
it comes to voting.
Sure.
But even without that said, 37,000 people approximately vote in Chaves County. And if they were to have decided not to pass that ordinance, that means 3 people would have made the decision that should be up to 37,000. It was his take on
sure.
it. And I get that. I mean,
sure.
We've got all these people, everyone's got an opinion, and sometimes it's not right for 3 people
sure.
to decide for everybody.
Right.
And so that's where that came from, and he stated it very eloquently. He says it's a democracy, and the people need to decide what's
sure.
best for them.
Well, and you know what? Our voter turnout is always low. It's always bad. Right. And you know what? If there's enough issues to get people to actually go, if this moves the needle to get people to vote, I'm for that because
of that 37,000 people, it's usually only a fraction of
sure.
that, a percentage of that
right.
that actually come out to vote. So it's even less than half.
And I mean, and so this, so I think this is a good thing. This is all so far. This is a good thing. And you know what? I think there's going to be a lot of information being said between now and November. And again, take what you read on the internet for what it's worth. Trust sources. If it's on a Facebook or a Twitter, 9 times out of 10, it's mostly opinion or misinformed stuff. And this is why I appreciate you guys coming on my show and saying, here's what's going on. This is a straight scoop. Whatever nefarious plot twisting, Charlie Kirk, whatever weirdness is going on the internet. That's not what we're talking about.
Well,
here.
Overwhelmingly, what we saw with all the comments, whether they were for or against, I don't think there was anyone that said we don't want economic development. I think everyone said we agree. We need economic development. We need to build businesses. We need to have jobs. We need all those things that economic development brings. The question is now the right time, or is later the right time?
Sure.
And that's what it all boils down to. And ultimately, that's the question. And the bottom line is,
sure.
No one disagrees that we need to make our town stronger, our community stronger, but is now the right time. And there's a lot of
absolutely,
valid points.
Both ways, yeah.
People get taxed on everything that they do, whether
sure.
it's that $100 in their paycheck dwindles down to
sure.
Depending on what's happening, and so I get it. Every penny does count, and people should consider what.
And I know this is a more city thing, but if you look at a lot of, because let's face it, there's a lot of county residents that live in the city of Roswell.
Right.
And, they've been going through this kind of stuff with the water bills and changing out meters and crazy fluctuations there. And so I get people are tired of this kind of nonsense, and it does raise the, now what are you screwing up kind of mentality. And it's like, let's, before we go there, let's hear all the facts and then let you decide if this is good or not.
Well, and I feel like we're fortunate that certain taxes that are implemented do require the people to speak first.
Sure.
There are many taxes that can just be applied at the discretion of the governing authorities.
Sure.
Whatever those may be. And that's where I personally really get irritated when the locals do something that benefits, not the locals, but that particular governing entity could do things that maybe don't meet the requirements of the community overall, but they have that authority to do that without going to the voters. So this local option, gross receipts tax, that is definitely a good thing, is that it cannot go forward without the people saying, yeah, we're good for that to go forward.
And then we abide by the results accordingly. So
yeah.
That being said, there has been there's some highlights, things from the commission meeting not involving this, so we want to talk about.
There were several things. I mean, it was not a huge agenda at the commission meeting, and even with the extra length of time for the ordinance early on in the meeting, we finished the meeting by about 11:15, 11:30. So,
nice.
So it was a good meeting. But
efficient and quality and full of good work.
I'm going to start at the end.
All right.
Of this, because this is kind of an interesting story, and I'm not pointing the finger at Roosevelt County. I'm not pointing the finger at Elida school district, but we were just talking about voting and how your vote counts and that.
Correct.
So the clerk told us we had to canvass a special Elida special school election. We had to certify the results of the special Elida school election.
Okay.
So there are 4 voters in Chaves County.
All right.
That are in the Elida school district.
Okay.
So, on the scope of things, Chaves County wide, it's not a
Sure
real
is.
big deal, but I'm certain it is.
It's important to them.
To the Elida school district.
To the people involved, it's very important.
So they had a special election to determine, I believe it was a taxation on your property tax and levying $1 per thousand or something for public school infrastructure.
Okay.
And the vote, and I'm sorry, I failed to notice if it passed or failed based on the final vote count. But as I recall, Cindy said that the final vote on this was 33 to 32.
Whoa.
I don't know whether that was for or against. Okay. So that was the final vote. Keep in mind, I said there were 4 votes in Chaves County.
Yeah.
Or 4 voters, registered voters in the Elida School District in Chaves County. Of those 4 voters in Chaves County, these were apparently write-in votes.
Sure.
3 did not vote. 1 of the 4 people in Chaves County voted
oh my goodness.
In the Elida special school election, which was 33 to 32, 4 against. I don't know, but I mean, 1 vote does count, like they say. So, unfortunately,
are they tied?
No. Unfortunately, there are special rules you have to follow whenever you do a mail-in ballot, and our clerk's office, our election people, they know those rules. They make sure that it's a fair election.
Sure.
And if you don't fill out your ballot properly, if you don't address the envelope properly, there's
not
a
a valid
whole rule of things.
Sure. Yeah.
And they have, so if it's a write-in thing, they have to look at each one individually and determine that. Whatever the reason was, that ballot could not be counted. Would it have changed the election? Would it have made a tie? Would it have been 1 more vote for or against whichever side won? Who knows? But that's a really good example of, even though there were only 4 voters in Chaves County.
Yeah, it made a difference.
1 person could have made the difference.
Yeah.
Or if they had gotten a second person from Chaves County to vote, it could have absolutely turned the tide.
Or what if all 4 voted? What would have happened then? You know? Yeah, it's
so
your vote absolutely counts.
So that was a kind of an interesting to the people in Elida and the school district. I'm sure the outcome of that vote was very, very important.
Absolutely.
To them. And like I say, I don't know which side won.
And I'm about to say it was must have been contested with the vote that close.
That close. Yeah, that was
exactly.
really something. So anyway, your vote does count.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's only what we're saying.
We had a couple of agreements. So, of course, there's another thing that's on the internet is things like wind turbines and solar farms and battery energy storage systems.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff is on internet daily as well.
Yes.
Every county across the U.S., probably every nation in the world is having to deal with the balance of what is right or what is wrong with that sort of stuff as well.
Data center is a 4-letter word right now, depending on where you're going.
literally data. So we have a solar farm. We had the first solar field of any consequence that was put into Chaves County. Well, actually, it's 2. It's the Roswell Solar and Chaves County Solar on Pine Lodge Road.
Mm-hmm.
and they were named differently because of their location. One was in the ETZ and one was just outside the ETZ. So the one outside was called Chavis, the one inside was called Roswell Solar. But it's half of that. I believe at the time when they built that, it was the largest solar array in the state of New Mexico.
Okay.
And, you know, we all got on board, you know, if this is going to help things, you know,
yeah,
whatever. And everything in its place. The neighbors didn't mind that it was near them. And
sure.
In fact, one of their neighbors lives kind of in the middle of it, and he loves that there's nobody around him. You know, so everybody,
good.
You know,
yeah. Now, I feel like he's never out of power either. I mean,
well, I would hope. I don't know.
Maybe just like, can I just run a cord over here?
Of course, you may be able to hold a hot dog on a stick, and it may cook it.
Hey, you want to come to my house and roast marshmallows? I got plenty of panels.
but you know, all those things. Some of them. There was one that was proposed out near my house, and all the neighbors came out and said, no, not here. This isn't a good fit. There were others in other parts of the county that didn't go in. That particular one seemed to be a good fit. It was kind of our first foray into that, and that passed, and there's a large solar array out.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're coming back, and they want to do battery energy storage facilities there.
Okay.
And again, the internet, there's lots of pros and cons, whether they're real pros and cons, I don't know, but on the internet, there's lots of for and against battery energy storage for
everything at for, you probably find 3 against or vice versa.
For a lot of different reasons, you know. But the next step for them to create power during the day and still be able to
store it
so it can be used at night is battery energy storage. So they came forward and they wanted to do a 50 megawatt battery energy storage facility on the Roswell Solar and a 50 megawatt energy storage on the Chavis County Solar. And so we had 2 agreements yesterday, and the reason it was 2 is they were mirror images of each other, but it's the decommissioning agreement.
Okay.
So one of the things we've continued to learn, and we've been studying on how to implement this stuff, how to protect our counties, how to protect our citizens from all this stuff. Because too much of anything is certainly not good, and if it doesn't fit within your community, of course, that's also not good. So one of the things we've learned is decommissioning. You know, early on, people didn't think about, well, what happens when this is defunct 30 years from now or 15 years from now or whatever, and they just, or the company goes belly up and they just leave, and then you're stuck.
Then what? Yeah.
So we have what we call decommissioning agreements now, which is makes them get an insurance policy essentially to assure that land goes back to its native state.
Gotcha. So they go belly up. We just get left with this big building of
each of
batteries.
These 2 things, just the battery portion is $4.4 million is the estimated cost of taking it back and clearing the ground 3 foot deep or something to make sure there's no remnant of them left, and reseeding, all those kind of things that would go along with that. So they have 2 assessed values of $4.4 million, I think it was, for each of those to do that. And that has to be reassessed every 5 years because, as we know, the cost of doing anything construction-wise post-COVID tripled probably.
Right. Yeah.
And so here we are, 5 years from now, and it's insured for 4.4, and they leave, and it costs 8. That's a problem. So every 5 years we will reevaluate those, and that's a part of the plan.
Make sure we're not upside down here.
Moving forward, yeah. So that's always a real
interesting,
real good thing.
I don't know, when you say it, and I know it's not, but I just got a picture of like a bunch of those lithium batteries in this building. They're like, all right, put them in there. You know those ones they tell you can't bring on an airplane because they might catch on fire.
Well, honestly, I've watched a lot of videos of those things. You can't put those fires out.
Yeah, they're not easy.
You put them in water, and that makes it worse.
Well, you get to see one of them Teslas catch on fire or whatever.
And I personally was very dubious about.
Sure, like what
battery
happens
energy storage if this were to
what happens when it cooks
fire.
off? Yeah,
the containers that they are in. If one were to catch fire, it is extremely unlikely that they get outside of that container.
Sure,
and Chavis County, of course, has another protection for our county. Is we hired a third-party electrical engineering firm so that when these companies come in and tell us, "Oh yeah, we're salesmen," but big smile on our face, trust us. You've got nothing to worry about.
Right.
Well, we know better than that, and
we can do our due diligence, and
we're going to make sure that you're telling us the truth. So we hired a neutral third party to evaluate these proposals.
Because I didn't think about it, but we might have, like, our volunteer fire departments out there might have to adapt to deal with whatever, if that one of those cook off, whatever chemicals they need to put that out. Yeah.
And of course, they're all certified through Underwriters Laboratory or whoever. Yeah. I mean, they have been rigorously tested and tested well beyond what's required. So if one were to catch fire, it would pretty likely not spread to the next one. But still, we keep separation between them and those kind of things for that reason, just in case.
Right, yeah.
But anyway, that's really interesting.
Interesting.
And the other thing that we've been doing that's not part of the agenda, but we've been redoing our comprehensive land use plan in Chaves County. Many counties across New Mexico and even some other states have asked for copies of the Chaves County land use plan because it talks about the history of Chaves County, why we're here, what brought people to our area in the first place, what industries have thrived, what way of life we have, culture and custom, whether there's archaeological areas within the county. All these things are spelled out in the historical part of it. It also brings up the fact that we've got a lot of public lands in Chaves County. 47% of Chaves County is public lands of some sort, and which leaves us just less than 60%.
Yeah, that's about half our land is ours, and
to actually have public or private use on it. And so we're very careful about what kind of things can happen here, there, and yonder, and that's why we have zoning in Chaves County. This area seems to be appropriate. We had to rewrite our plan. We do that every 5 years or so. Is the plan. I think it's been 10 years since we did ours, but we are in the finishing process of doing that. So we're going to have a special meeting in a couple of days so we can do permission to publish, because I didn't get it ready for yesterday's meeting, published so that public can have their final input. We had a steering committee put together of members of people from all walks of life across the county. I think we had 12 outside members that helped us to evaluate everything, gave it to the contractor who's bringing it back. But we have to say if a wind farm needs to be in this area, if a solar farm, if a data center. And we had to put, data centers could be here. One of the things, they had them in the ETZ, and I told the contractor, I said, absolutely not. I said, we don't know everything about a data center, certainly.
We're not prepared to allow
it
yet.
But we know that the interaction between people and data centers, everything you've read and heard,
very polarizing.
It is not a good mix.
Yeah.
They need to be somewhere separate if you're actually going to do it. And so I told them, absolutely, there should not be data centers within that 2-mile buffer outside of Roswell, because that is supposed to be where the people are going to, as the city grows, that's where the people are going to be. So certainly it would, if you were to have one, it would have to be further out than that.
And I know they're not.
And even though it says this area 20 miles out or whatever could be a data center, doesn't mean it's going to be a data center, but we can't just exclude.
And they're kind of claiming that they don't use resources, but they're like, no, they do use a lot of resources. And guess what? One of our most valuable ones around here is water. And they use a lot of it, apparently.
3 of us went to El Paso on Wednesday and got back just in time for our meeting Wednesday night. But we went to see the K. Bailey Hutchinson desalinization plant in El Paso, because the El Paso has grown so fast. Of course, Juarez on the other side, and their aquifer is being depleted pretty quickly. And they've got a real saline, brackish aquifer, and they've got a pretty fresh aquifer. So they put this plant right in the middle where they can draw out of the brackish one, clean that water, and basically mix it with the fresh water to utilize. And they can do up to 26 million gallons a day, I think.
Okay.
So anyway, we went to look at that because, again, we're well aware of the needs to protect our water and our water resources. I think it was last month, maybe the month before, that we passed a resolution proclaiming that the water in Chaves County should be used for the people, obviously for the residents and for agriculture. Those are our primary purposes for the water. Anything outside of that has to be
scrutinized
and assure that that's right.
I mean, it's the way of the world. These data centers are coming. This is all going to happen. I mean, whether it's in your backyard or someone's backyard,
it's going to be in somebody.
Yeah. And so, to find alternatives to say, okay, it's coming either way. Maybe we have, this. Because I don't know. And again, I'm not that smart. And we don't have enough time to go into all this. But I know we have a lot of water that's not necessarily drinkable, but usable for stuff like this available. It's I don't know that. I don't know.
But
all
even that, if you're potentially going to damage it or misuse it,
right?
You've got to figure that out up front. You can't take that risk.
Sure. They got to get it right first before we say let's do that.
If you turn this into a wasteland for a few bucks, what have you gained?
But I'm sure.
So you've got to really be assured that you're doing the right thing. Chaves County, we went through a 12-week-long Rural Energy Academy where we heard from people, and this was through National Association of Counties.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 12-week program. We went through it and heard from people all over the U.S. that have wind, solar data centers and everything. Loudoun County, Virginia, has the largest concentration, I guess, of data centers. And they came on and they told us things like, yes, we were some of the first that did this, but if we were doing it again today, these are the things that we would watch out for. Over and over and over, every person that presented said, these are the things you need to look out for. Not saying you should or should not do it in your area, but watch out.
Well, Loudoun County, Virginia is a suburb of D.C.
Mm-hmm.
It is nothing like New Mexico.
Absolutely.
They got rivers. They've got all kinds of bodies of water surrounding them. There's populations of people there. It's not the middle of nowhere like it is here. Right. It's not the same animal. Loudoun County, Virginia, and Chaves County, New Mexico are not even close to the same county.
I feel like, personally, my belief is Chaves County is like a tropical paradise. Right in the middle of nowhere. There's this wonderful oasis.
Yeah.
And we need to keep it that way.
Yeah.
So we have to be extremely cautious and careful. I'm sure we're out of time.
We've got about 2 minutes because I've got about a minute and a half of ads I got to play before news. So if you can do something in 2 minutes, then we can get that in.
So we had a resolution yesterday to oppose the New Mexico Environment Department's permit issuance of the Pine Evaporative Lagoon permit.
Okay.
So Eddy County, a lot of places in southeastern New Mexico have a lot of man camps to handle things. So they allowed some man camps, trailer parks, whatever, to be built in Eddy County that don't have complete septic systems. They have storage tanks. So there's a person that built all these, wants to pump the raw sewage from Eddy County man camps, haul it to a pond in Chaves County, and dump it there and let it evaporate. And it's like, if you created it there, maybe you ought to take care of it there.
Right.
Maybe you should have took that into consideration before you let them build a man camp, because it's not our responsibility to make sure their business plan is the most acceptable. Sure, it's going to cost more to do a proper sewage system.
Sure.
But why should we let you just haul raw sewage to Chaves County? Now, again, if we're out in the middle of nowhere, maybe it's okay. Although to me, it's the same as if Phoenix decided to run a pipeline over and just dump it in Hidalgo County, New Mexico. Right. That just doesn't seem right on the surface.
Yeah.
But this proposed lagoon is next door to a dairy. And the contention is, my belief is, you wouldn't allow, if there was a sewer plant, you wouldn't allow a dairy to be built next to a sewer plant because health and safety would be at risk.
Yes.
So why in the world, conversely, would you say, well, it's okay to build a sewer plant next to a dairy? Because the same problem.
The crude thirst is you don't crap or you eat.
and so we've made it known that we in Chaves County think that they should not allow that to move forward. It's in the permitting process, but we made it clear that we, for several reasons, don't think that that's the right thing to do.
You know what? I like it.
We're always looking out for the county. I mean, our commissioners do look out. Our staff, everybody looks out for the county, and we want to make sure that this is I intend to live here till I die, which my age, who knows when that's going to be. But we've got to take care of what we have, and we're all in on that. So
I got to do the pun. We're not taking no crappy deals. That's all I'm saying. So, Bill, as always, thank you very much. I got to end on that note. That's a win. Thank you very much, Bill. We'll see you next time. And if we need to get in early or anything, just let me know. We'll be happy to do that.
Thank you.
SRN News. I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. President Trump says that Iran is about to face what he calls economic D-Day, with severe U.S. sanctions taking effect. The president's 50% tariffs on Canadian imports are now in effect, and Ottawa is vowing retaliation. Voters in several states will head to the polls tomorrow, casting ballots in primary runoffs, and that includes in South Carolina, where there's a U.S. Senate runoff between Republican Darlene Graham and fellow Republican Ralph Norman. Darlene, the sister of the late Senator Lindsey Graham, has been endorsed by President Trump. A Trump administration plan to strengthen oversight of mail-in voting is advancing, even as that issue works its way through the courts. The Hawk fire bearing down on Reno, Nevada, forcing tens of thousands to evacuate their homes ahead of the flames. More details at srnnews.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll stay at about 105 on the afternoon high today, with high pressure in the central plains and the southern plains. That's covering our area too. Should be sunny. Overnight looks clear. We'll dip into the low 70s, 100 to 105 for the afternoon high again on Tuesday. It looks like we'll stay sunny. Pretty hot on Wednesday and Thursday too. Sunny and about 100. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales. The final minutes of Saturday's 34-13 preseason win at Arizona produced the most heartwarming, chill-bump moment of my 36 years with the team. Please let me share the story with you after this.
A true Dallas Cowboys fan is there for the journey and the destination. This is the season to make your journey count by flying through McAllen International Airport, the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. Whether you're flying down for McAllen's award-winning fall and holiday festivals, or you're a South Texas fan flying up to cheer the Cowboys on, make your journey as satisfying as your destination at the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. McAllen International Airport, above, beyond, at McAllenAirport.com.
Picture yourself making your morning coffee. You know those few minutes while the water and the beans do their thing? Instead of scrolling, what if you video called a friend?
Connect with confidence, knowing AT&T Internet backup is included at no extra cost. Guaranteed. So even in a rare fiber outage, your wireless data can keep you connected. A cup and a call? That's the new ritual. Internet backup requires eligible AT&T wireless service, activation, and power source. Speeds vary. AT&T may slow data speeds if the network is busy. Backup may not be available in all locations. See att.com/guarantee for full details.
It was a surreal scene in the final moments of Saturday's 34-13 Cowboys win at the Cardinals when offensive lineman Shiraz Pete, the first Navajo to sign with an NFL team, came to the sideline after his one and only series, a touchdown drive late in the game. Several thousand Native Americans gave him a rousing ovation as he raised his helmet, waved his arms, and acknowledged the crowd.
The standing ovation was incredible. I lost count of how many Navajo Nation flags I saw. A Salish flag as well. English probably isn't the language I describe it in, but still hope, courage, hope and courage.
Tomorrow we'll talk touchdowns and stats, but some moments transcend the game.
Hey, Roswell, time is running out to cash in on some of the biggest savings of the season. The loan and lease termination sales event is happening right now at Roswell Ford. Drive away with a truckload of savings in a brand new Ford F-Series pickup with financing as low as 0% APR and make no payments for 90 days. Upside down in your current car, truck, or SUV and want out early? Roswell Ford will do whatever it takes to get you out of your trade, even if you owe up to $10,000 more than it's worth. Have less than perfect credit? Roswell Ford works with a network of aggressive lenders that will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Get on board at Roswell Ford during our loan and lease termination event and get huge savings on all new F-Series trucks, America's top-selling pickup in each of the past 49 years. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 36 months is $27.78 per thousand finance on F-150 trucks. Excludes Raptor. Interest accrues from date of sale. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 8 o'clock, 7:59. Stay tuned next hour, around 8:15 or so. We're going to replay our interview we had, I believe it was last Tuesday, with folks from Community Bible Study, talking about two different Bible studies, a women's midday Bible study and then a all all men, women, everybody, evening Bible study as well. Now, the women's Bible study, I believe, officially started last week. The other will start this week. But we will talk with the folks for next hour about that, and you can jump in at any time, too. So it's time for news. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. The U.S.-Canada trade dispute is heating up. President Trump's 50% tariffs on a range of Canadian imports kicked in today. Ottawa vows retaliation, and in response, the president now threatens to expand the tariffs to include a 50% levy on Canadian car parts and steel starting January 1st. President Trump says Iran is about to face what he calls economic D-Day, with more severe U.S. sanctions taking effect. Voters in several states head to the polls tomorrow. Correspondent Laura Winter says they'll be casting ballots in primary runoffs.
On Tuesday, there is a House special election in Georgia, a runoff for Senate and governor in Oklahoma, and in South Carolina, a Senate runoff between Republican Darlene Graham and Republican Ralph Norman. Darlene, the sister of the late Senator Lindsey Graham, is endorsed by President Trump.
A Trump administration plan aimed at strengthening oversight of mail-in voting advances, even as that issue works its way through the courts.
USPS has finalized a rule requiring voter eligibility lists and unique tracking barcodes for federal mail ballots. The administration says the changes are designed to prevent ineligible voting and improve election security. 23 states have sued, and a federal judge blocked implementation for this year's midterms. The administration has appealed to the Supreme Court, which has not yet ruled. Ken Lorman reporting.
It has been named the Hawk Fire, and it is bearing down on Reno, Nevada. The blaze has chased tens of thousands from their homes, many more set to evacuate if need be, and the fire has closed parts of US 395. A half dozen people have been injured by a fire that investigators say was human-caused. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is about 187 points higher, while the Nasdaq is down 213 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Hi, I'm Kirk Cameron. Christian Healthcare Ministries is not another health insurance policy. If you're tired of year-long contracts and pointless restrictions, CHM offers anytime enrollment on your schedule and at your convenience. With CHM, you're paying half the cost of a traditional health insurance plan. So that puts more money back into your budget for everyday needs. Plus, you'll have access to CHM's care solutions for virtual appointments, prescription savings, surgery support, and more. My family and I joined in 2018, and it's changed our lives for the better. We love paying way less while helping other believers afford their medical bills. Take the leap of faith and see why Christians across the nation are better with CHM.
Get started by calling 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS for a 50% credit towards your first month. That's 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS.
British Prime Minister Burnham is among European leaders meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky in Kiev.
Mr. Burnham will attend Ukraine's Independence Day celebrations and chair his first meeting of the Coalition of the Willing, the partnership of more than 35 nations backing Ukraine. He'll meet President Zelensky almost a month on from their first meeting in Portsmouth. Mr. Burnham will say he wants the Ukrainian people to hear directly from him that British support will not waver as long as it takes, and that Russia's threats against the UK will only strengthen that resolve. He'll announce the release of classified information enabling Ukraine to produce its own version of the Storm Shadow or Scalp long-range cruise missile, which was designed jointly with France.
The BBC's Dan Johnson. Will Iceland join the European Union? The question dividing the nation. Supporters believe that EU membership offers protection and economic benefits. However, opponents argue that Iceland already enjoys European integration without losing control of its resources. Townhall.com. The Trump administration takes the wraps off a plan that's aimed at lowering prices at the gas pump.
Beginning September the 1st, the EPA will temporarily allow E10 gasoline to be sold with a higher vapor pressure limit, effectively ending federal summer blend restrictions early. Officials say the move could add hundreds of thousands of barrels of gasoline per day. The waiver runs through September 15th and may override stricter rules in California, Texas, and Arizona for up to 20 additional days. Mary Rose reporting.
Tropical storm Moke passing south of Hawaii's Big Island, close enough to jump a foot or more of rain on areas dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Lala. The storm's top sustained winds 40 miles per hour, although the real impact is expected from the rainfall in places where last weekend's hurricane flooded communities. It caused mudslides and washed out roads. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday. Sean almost made it. Almost, but he missed it by this much. But happy Monday, everybody. Hope your Monday is going delightfully well.
Traffic, man.
Yeah? Some traffic heat out there?
A little heavy.
Yeah. Hey, real quick while Sean gets his breakfast settled here, let me tell you a little something. You should, all of us want to protect what matters most, and you can do that with Zenith Security. They are your local trusted security service since 1998. Choosing a local provider means getting immediate expert support. No waiting weeks or months for alarm resolution. Zenith offers top-of-the-line residential and business alarm systems with UL-rated monitoring, cutting-edge surveillance cameras, home theater systems, and IT services. You experience reliable, full-service security solutions. All this is a phone call away. Call Zenith Security Services today, 575-626-3521, and learn more about their solutions to protect your home or your business, and your business if you want both. They got you covered. But yeah, give them a call today, 575-626-3521. Local solutions, local there. You got problems that the handles right here, not going through a gauntlet of data centers.
Yeah, talking representative. Nope, none of that. It's all humans.
Yeah, give them a call. Zenith.
Absolutely. They're fantastic people. You know what I found out when cutting... You learn things when cutting commercials, certain phrases, certain words that you didn't know you struggled with. That was one of them.
Yeah?
Monitoring.
That
word, trying to say it conversationally, like in a sentence, it just kept getting hung up in my mouth. Monitoring. It was like I had to chew through it. So if you listen to the commercial, you hear I say monitoring.
Yeah.
Like I get very proper for that one part.
I have problems with words with BRs in it.
Yeah.
Like February, library. Right. These are words I botch on the regular.
But those are the ones that are also kind of fun to mess with. Like,
yeah.
Because of the hidden R's. I like saying February.
Yeah. But those are the ones I always botch.
Participation is another one. It's a lot of those with like the I's and the T's and the C's. Those tend to get me.
Yeah.
It's all the it words. But yeah, participation is one. Or just participate. See, participate. I dropped the first T, anticipate.
So I don't anticipate.
I don't anticipate it.
But yes, but there was something else I was going to mention too. What was it I was going to mention?
Couldn't imagine. I don't know if you heard in Christy Scales' Cowboys report, but they were talking about the first native player in NFL, I think in NFL history, played had a series in the Cardinals game, the Cowboys-Cardinals game over the weekend.
Yeah.
And when he came off the field, they said they had like thousands of Navajo Nation flags in the stands flying high. And it was just a real
the game was in
moment.
Arizona, which makes sense. Arizona is very
right there in Navajo Nation.
A lot of native country, native population, so kind of makes sense. Yeah, I think he's part of they have like these programs now where teams are allotted an extra roster spot for like a foreign player. Now I'm not sure if his Navajo qualifies him because he's not foreign. He's native.
Well, technically we're more foreign than he is.
But I don't know, but I'm not sure if that's part of that. It might be part of that program that they have, where like there's literally like every team has like a guy from like Australia or Zimbabwe or something. You know, it's pretty crazy.
We just got to throw them off because they come over here like, all right, we're playing football. What was that?
Well, obviously they had the football skills they acquired in Zimbabwe or wherever they played.
Well, Aussie rules football.
Well, or a lot of them have maybe come to America to go to school and then turned out they're good at football.
Yeah.
They came here to be lawyers or doctors or whatever, and they're like, oh, this guy's 6'8" and can play football.
In Portugal, you're a cardiólogo.
Yeah.
I'm a cardiologist in Portugal.
Right. So
there was something kind of moving topic real quick. You tapped on it last hour with the irrigation story.
Yeah.
With the poo story when you were talking to Bill.
Yeah.
I watched a documentary over the weekend about Killdozer.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna. You trust me. This is gonna make sense.
I think I know what it is. I know Killdozer now.
Now, for those who aren't familiar, the Killdozer story. There's a guy who lived in a quiet mountain town in Colorado.
I think there's a documentary on Netflix
there's
or
several,
somewhere.
but this was actually kind of like a alternate look on it, because like the guy who did it, everybody has nothing to say about him, but he was the nicest guy you could ever meet. He was super kind.
It's basically Falling Down, but
here's the thing. The guy was a little bit banana pants crazy.
A little.
So he's a snowboard enthusiast or snowmobile enthusiast, which is why he moved up to the Colorado area. He'd actually opened a series of auto repair and muffler repair shops. And this specific one was a muffler repair shop that he had opened in this town. I can't remember exactly where it is. Okay, so this muffler shop was off of the town sewage system. Okay. So this guy's solution, not get a septic tank, he buried a cement truck underground and was funneling waste from sewage from his facility into this. Basically, it got so full and no plumber in the county was willing to do anything about it.
Right.
So he had to kind of move to a different system. So then he started funneling his waste into the irrigation system behind his property. All while this is happening, the town there's one very wealthy family who moved in and decided they want us to open a cement factory. And basically the facility was going to be all the way around the property of this guy's shop.
Okay.
So then the whole sewage thing came up. So then they said, okay, listen, we're going to pay you an exorbitant amount of money for your property, like 5 times what the value of it is. Get you off the property. We're going to get you another facility, and we're going to hook you into the town sewage system.
Proper sewage.
He didn't want to do that. Instead, what he did was he moved his facility to a place next to one of this family's other companies, and he illegally tapped into their sewage system. So this whole backstory behind before Killdozer even started is completely about where are we putting our dookie?
Yeah,
like this guy had some kind of weird obsession with not wanting to do things the right way. And so when all this stuff happened and basically the town moved him, essentially like shunned him out of the town or whatever, that's when he went a little crazy. He said, okay, just give me...
That's when he went.
He was already a little banana pants. But he said, give me lease me the property for another year and a half so I can finish some work.
Mm-hmm.
The work that he was finishing is the whole time he was behind this gigantic wall. Like he walled himself in with this bulldozer that he bought in California.
Yeah.
And then he retrofitted it with the concrete over the windows and bulletproofing. He couldn't even see out of the cabin. It was welded shut, so he had no intention of ever leaving. I'm pretty sure this was a suicide mission.
Sure.
But the way he was able to see to move, he wired cameras. This guy was smart. I mean, and here's the thing. He's smart, and he could build whatever he wanted. I have no idea why he didn't just dig and build his own septic system. It would have solved so much of this problem. Instead, he retrofitted this gigantic bulldozer with concrete windows and walls and welded the thing shut, put cameras on the front so he could see, and like bulletproofed encased the cameras so they couldn't get shot, and put gun turrets on the killdozer, even though a shot was never fired. The only person that died that day was him.
Yeah.
And
thank goodness.
Yeah, if you ever are interested in seeing the story, this guy wrecked the town.
Yeah.
Thank God someone let the library know, because he bulldozed through City Hall and the library that was like next door to it. And at that point, there was a group of school kids doing a program in the library.
Oh, wow.
Luckily, they let the library staff know, and they evacuated everybody.
Some crazy dude. He might want to leave.
But that's for that reason, basically the only person that died that day was him. But it's an insane story, and it's just because I've heard the killdozer story at least a dozen times. I knew the story of like this guy.
I didn't know all that backstory. Yeah,
but every like documentary or whatever I've seen on it has said he was a good man who got wronged by the town. Everybody like references like the "don't tread on me" thing, but no. This guy
was a problem.
Got what was coming to him, and then he lost his mind.
This guy had many opportunities to not be a problem.
Then the cheese completely slid off the cracker, and destruction occurred.
Yeah,
something like $187 million just in the downtown area alone.
Wow,
of damage.
Well, I got one question. Did he ever get to go snowboarding?
No, snowmobiling.
Snowmobiling.
And that's the thing. He had like a fleet of snowmobiles. He didn't even live in the county. He was like up in the mountains is where he lived. He could have just happily taken his money and gone and lived the rest of his days.
Yeah. Well, I wonder where his money came from. Like designing something.
Well, he was military. He was like, I think he served in the army.
Okay. I don't remember his whole story.
And then
I just remember
he started as a mechanic and slowly built up his business and his empire.
He's like a one-man crazy A-team that
kinda. If this guy was around today, he'd have had a YouTube series,
right?
Where like he basically teaches everybody how to do things.
Yeah, he's the.
Today I'm going to teach you how to build a septic system. I'm not going to build it, but I'm going to teach you how to.
Right. Kind of getting back to NFL. You're talking about the Navajo guys there and all that. I watched. And I've already seen that makes me kind of laugh, and this makes me laugh because Cowboys look good. Their backup quarterback, they look good.
They won this weekend, yeah.
They look good.
They won by a long shot this weekend.
They did. It's preseason.
Yeah, I know.
People get excited, and you're already dawning the Cowboys are going to make a Super Bowl run.
This is our year. I know.
I'm like, God bless you. Be excited.
Yeah.
It's all. And I know people are like, well, your team lost. That's where like, yeah. You know what? My guys didn't play. They Jaden Daniels literally played 3 plays, and none of it went well. It was just it was pointless. And preseason's different now. Now that they got 3 games and they do these joint practices, they really the game is almost unless you're curious about their backups and curious about that. That's all you're getting because like I know Washington right now. They're not doing anything in those games. They're just evaluating young talent.
Right.
They're not showing anything. Their defense is vanilla. Now they're getting turnovers. Boy, howdy is that defense getting turnovers. The offense is very vanilla. Everything is very they're not doing much in the games.
Right.
And so it's not and I know other NFL teams are the same. It's really, really hard to judge other than how deep your roster is, how based on a preseason, how good. Like if your team's winning and all that, you're like, well, either one of two things are happening. They playing a lot, their starters a lot,
and that's a dangerous thing. I mean, if you're like seeking to put up preseason stats, at the risk of you're blowing out your A team,
and that's where they're getting their starters or reps now. Is now that the teams are doing one like of their 3 preseason games, some teams up to 2 of them are joint practice weeks.
Right.
Like Washington this week. Well, now they got one more meaningless game Friday against the Ravens, and I think starting tomorrow they're going to be practicing back and forth with the Ravens again all week. They did this with the Dolphins 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Dallas did it with the Cardinals, I think, or with the Saints or somebody. And
Dallas did it with I think it was the Saints.
Yeah. And so that's kind of where the starters are starting to get more of their reps and things now.
And also, and this is, again, it takes even more away from the preseason games because basically you're seeing the interactions that these players are going to have with opposing teams and how, like, you're getting to know kind of the play styles of them when they're actually in action versus just at practice mode.
No, I'm still watching everything because I kind of am a fan of my team, and I'm like, ooh, we got some hungry dudes on D. And to be honest, we have a brand new offensive coordinator, a brand new defensive coordinator, so I want to see how they think. So I'm kind of and yes, they haven't shown a lot on defense, but every one of their dudes, whether it's are flying around out there, and so I got a feeling Washington's defense is going to be remarkably improved this year. That being said, are they going to Super Bowls? They don't. I'm not that
too soon to call.
Yeah. But that being said, I like what I'm seeing on some. Now, there's some other things that are making me nervous. Like that offensive line, they lost Tunstall in training camp. Their center was not really locked down. That line's got issues. And if you've got an issue offensive line, that's the worst thing you have for your franchise star quarterback. That's why they only played him 2 plays the other night. And he got touched on one and said, that's it. He's done. Put him back on the bench. And that makes me a little nervous. Yes. But this is what's going to happen. We're going to play the games and figure it out. So, but yes. So congratulations, Cowboys. Yep. Good win. The team looked good. You're not guaranteed a Super Bowl yet.
Hey. This is their season.
Yeah.
All right.
That kid Mixon or whatever, Mixon. I don't remember whoever their backup was that started. He looked good. Kid, the guy was slinging it, man. And But
by the way, if Washington sometime before the preseason ends, if they need a little touch up or some tips, we could send the Coyotes up.
There you go.
I mean, if they want to know what a winning team looks like.
Let's just say. Both teams on Friday need to work on defense a little bit.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, I love the high-scoring games.
That was technically a come from behind, because we were behind for most of the game.
It literally went back and forth almost it was literally one score, then the next score, one score, the next score. I think there was like one punt, like sometime in the first quarter.
Right.
I don't know. We forgot about that. That was 60 touchdowns ago.
So I'll tell you this.
It was exciting.
I will tell you this because I've been to games like this.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, I was in the band in the 2001 run of the Roswell Coyotes when they picked up their championship. Then.
Yeah.
That band was exhausted by the end of that game. Having to play that fight song 7 times, that is exhausting.
Yeah.
Because there's like a whole routine that goes into it.
Well, all I know is if you're going to beat the Roswell Coyotes this year, you better pack a lunch because you're going to have to score a lot of points to beat this team this year. They're going to score some points.
They will meet you at your level.
And that's what surprised me. And that's I got to be honest. The biggest surprise of the weekend was that Carlsbad. To me, the Carlsbad win, the 21, whatever that was, 2014, or whatever that final score was in Carlsbad. That one surprised me the most. I'm like, wow. And now that Artesia's facing Hobbs next week, and we just saw Hobbs in the Wool Bowl.
And they're going to bring everything they have for the Bulldogs.
Like, I'm like, Artesia might go 0-2 legit. 0-2. And you're like, whoa.
I think if this loss, losing the battle for Eddy County didn't light a fire underneath, the Bulldogs, and I don't know what will, because they're going to be fired up come Friday.
Yeah.
So, and you can catch all that action at ksvptv.com.
Exactly. Set the table.
Dang it.
Set the table. And like you said, the Coyotes go to Andrews, Texas, or wherever they're going. Canyon, Texas. Thank you. And then the Rockets will be back here at home. Who are they hosting?
I
My brain got so wrapped up in other things, I forgot who they're hosting.
I'm not real sure.
But Friday night, we'll have God of Rockets home on here or there. So, but yeah, which I guess I'll miss the Redskins game. I'll have to put it on because I'll be here at the office.
Oh yeah, DVR it.
No. No,
you don't want to. You don't want to avoid social media at all costs.
Actually, I can't DVR it because I don't have that capability on the thing that I watch it on.
That's true.
It does not record. It's either live or no go.
You couldn't just bring the stick.
I could.
Yeah, plug it into your monitor or something.
I don't want to do all that.
It'd be fun.
Yeah,
be a fun little experiment.
Actually, to be honest, I would not do it justice because I really do have to pay attention sometimes in here. Especially when things aren't going south out there. So, yeah, I wouldn't get to really do anything. So.
It'll be an interesting post-mortem this morning. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
An interesting phone call after the show.
By the way, programming note, Mr. Smalls will be holding down the fort mañana. My wife has to go get a routine medical procedure, so I have to make sure I am with her to do that in the morning. So I'm going to miss the morning show tomorrow, but I'll be back on Wednesday, no problem. But Sean will be filling in the captain's chair there. It is 8:25. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll stay at about 105 on the afternoon high today with high pressure in the central plains and the southern plains. That's covering our area too. Should be sunny. Overnight looks clear. We'll dip into the low 70s, 100 to 105 for the afternoon high again on Tuesday. It looks like we'll stay sunny. Pretty hot on Wednesday and Thursday too. Sunny and about 100. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 77 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 28%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 3 miles per hour. We do have a heat advisory in effect beginning at noon today. That will remain in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. Hitting 105. That's what they're calling for. Sunny, hot, and 105. South winds 5 miles per hour today. Tonight, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 73. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tuesday, 104 and sunny tomorrow. So I imagine we'll get another heat advisory. Winds out of the south at 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny and hot with highs around 100. Winds will be out of the northwest at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, during the day, sunny with a high of only 98. That's actually kind of nice. And then Thursday night, they're giving us a 40% chance at some showers and thunderstorms. We'll see. We got a few days between now and then. And then Friday, sunny and high of 99, and then 101 on Saturday, 101 on Sunday. So maybe a little dipper, and then pray for rain Thursday night. Maybe we'll get a little something, hopefully. We'll see. All right, it is 8:27. We're going to take about a 3.5 minute break here, and then we're going to play our interview with the group promoting their community Bible study. That's for women's day during the day Bible study, and then a weekly evening one for everyone else. We'll talk about that next with them. Up next.
Rio Pecos Medical Associates proudly welcomes Dr. David Fucinari, OBGYN. With advanced training in minimally invasive techniques, Dr. Fucinari is the first in our community to offer robotic surgery for women experiencing heavy or painful periods, pelvic pain, uterine fibroids, and more. Dr. Trevor Miller, Family Practice and Obstetrics, provides prenatal and OB care along with comprehensive primary care for the whole family, including wellness exams, acute visits, chronic disease management, skin procedures, and joint injections. Rio Pecos has expanded care once again by adding pediatrics. We welcome Kim Hansen and Rihanna Shaw, both experienced pediatric nurse practitioners who share a commitment to compassionate, patient-centered care and who have earned the trust of our community over the years. Book your appointment for OBGYN, family practice, or pediatric care online at riopecosmed.com or call 575-622-6322. Rio Pecos Medical Associates, advancing health and wellness for every generation.
The flavors of the Far East in a whole new location. Asian Market now has a new home at 2601C North Main in Roswell with an expanded selection for your make-at-home Asian cuisines. All the hard-to-find ingredients like fish sauce, Thai chili, boba, kimchi, pork belly, white miso paste, banana leaves, and a variety of mushrooms including enoki, plus seafood and more. Open Monday through Saturday 9 to 6, Sundays noon to 6 at 2601C North Main in Roswell, just north of the old Big Lots. The flavors of the East in a new location at Asian Market.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. They understand the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests, and Bob Reed offers answers and solutions when you need them most. Protect your home, your children, and your pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Let their fully licensed professionals start working for you and your family today. Find them online at BobReedPestControl.com or call today 575-623-5344. That's BobReedPestControl.com or call 575-623-5344. Serving all of Southeast New Mexico. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Jennifer here at Trustmark Roofing and Windows. And did you know that we get a bunch of service calls per year from people who didn't even hire us? That means they originally hired someone else to replace their roof, windows, or gutters. Then later, when a problem popped up, they tried to call their contractor back to help, only to find out that the contractor has ceased to exist. They're gone, done, out of state, out of business. At Trustmark Roofing and Windows, we have serviced southeastern New Mexico for 20 years. As a second-generation contractor, we have serviced our area through many major hail and windstorms. We have customers who are the kids of customers that we've serviced many years ago. We will be here when you need us, period. For roofing, gutters, or windows, visit trustmarkroofing.org or call Trustmark Roofing and Windows 575-755-ROOF. That's 575-755-7663.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
I was driving home from work.
I was heading out to meet my friends.
I was thinking about what I would make for dinner.
I was just changing the station on my radio.
I was checking my cell phone.
I was only trying to change lanes.
I never saw him.
I never saw him.
I never saw that motorcycle.
Until it was too late.
Unfortunately, sometimes drivers don't notice motorcycles on the road until it's too late. Be aware. Always look for motorcycles, because it's their road too.
Sponsored by NMDOT and aired in cooperation with the NMBA and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
E3 and in studio this morning talking some community Bible study. Pastor Lonnie Owens, Pastor Kelly Castles, and Stephanie Wenner as well. Good morning, everybody. Did I get?
Morning.
Good morning. Are you a pastor as well too?
No.
Okay, just make
I'm not a pastor.
Oh, okay.
Worse than that, I'm a lawyer. So you really screwed that up.
All right. I thought you also did some in between the lawyer work, some Bible.
Just
studies.
this, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know. I use the term pastor kind of loosely.
Very
sometimes.
good. Well, Lonnie looked at me crooked when you called me that because he didn't want to be too closely associated.
Oh, right. No way. I tell Kelly that he's really a pastor that practices law on the side.
There you go. Yeah. Anyone that tends to give me some godly advice, I'm going to call him a pastor.
Yeah, talk to that guy right there.
But what we're talking about today is community Bible study, which is really this is kind of one of those things. This is a celebration of Christianity. We're just a group of people that want to understand the Bible better, and so this is a collection of, I'm guessing, all Christians. We got, Baptists to whatever, Lutherans to Catholics to whatever, the whole gamut joining us on this.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you starting with that, Mike, because that's really a big focus, I think, for community Bible study that we want to get across. I mean, all of us, I believe we all need a place to belong, a place with real people that we can get to know and do life with. So that's why we have to meet in, various locations. But
sure.
None of those names or denominational titles are in the Bible. In the Bible, it's just whether we're in Christ or not. And so that's the focus, I think, for community Bible study. We appreciate you starting with that all people from all backgrounds are welcome, or any church background or no church background.
Sure. Together, really, if you have an interest in learning the Bible, this is what this is about, and understanding it. And I don't care how many years you've studied the Bible. There's been people, I mean, there's centuries, there's generations, there's thousands of years of people still studying the Bible and still understanding it and taking new things from it all the time. So I don't think you ever stop really studying the Bible.
No, I mean, I think we have to jump off there. I'll let one of my colleagues here. That's just like throwing us bait.
I'm going to get you some bones here.
Actually, Kelly and I were just talking about this outside. Yeah. Even if you've read a certain book in the Bible, you know, your life and society around us changes so quickly.
Sure.
And so even if you've read it one year or 5 years ago, you're going to pick up something new the next time you read it because you have a different perspective on the world.
Absolutely.
After living in it.
Sure. And obviously there's always and this is where I think a lot of people get lost in the devil in the details sometimes, is because of, you know, obviously the book is the oldest book, you know, in history, and it guess what, folks, it wasn't written in English.
Right.
It come out in a nicely typed book in English that we could all understand. I mean, it was written in languages that aren't even used today, you know, on a common basis. And so there is centuries of interpretations and different things. And so it really is a fascinating, because I imagine some things evolved over time as we study and be like, this word means something a little different than we thought it meant 100 years ago. And so, like, you know, like the word love, I mean, that's one of the agape. I mean, that's, you can have a whole debate on that word alone in the Bible, you know. And so that, to me, that as much adds to because it is, you know, we're learning it because it's kind of passed down, you know. There is that, and so that to understand it and to sometimes it takes a group of people to sit down and hear other people's thoughts, and you read something and you think this, and then someone else reads it and you're thinking, oh, I didn't think it from that angle, and that might be, yeah, okay. I mean, that's really what Bible study is about, right?
Yeah, it's transformational for sure, right? We're definitely not reading it or studying it to get it into our heads, but get it into our hearts,
right?
And to change and to be changed by God's word. It's alive, and it is a roadmap for the way we should live. One of the things, I've been in community Bible study here in Roswell for more than 30 years, and the word is the key part of what we do. But you know, when I was a young man and I came here, and I was in a small group studying the Bible with a bunch of men who were older than me, whether they were ranchers or farmers or mechanics or doctors or lawyers. And I think maybe the biggest benefit that I got in those first few years was seeing men that were ahead of me in life, and they had truly placed their faith in the Lord, and the Word of God made a difference to their everyday life. And for me, coming out of school and landing over here in 1990, you know, my Christianity was something I took out and used on Sundays and put it away the rest of the week.
Right.
And it was the witness of those other men that I think more than anything else led me to where I'm at now, along with God's Spirit. But the Lord's Word has come to a point in my life where it's just impacts all of my life, and it has changed my life.
Sure.
It's changed my heart, changed my eternal destination, it's changed my purpose. Everything about me has been changed by the power of God's Word, and that's why we study it.
And I also would just venture a guess, and this is something that I'm realizing as I get older, this wisdom thing, I guess they call it. I don't know. But I imagine you reading the Bible, say, as a teenager or a young person, and you read it a certain way, things resonate a certain way. But I'm telling you, reading it as a 50-year-old man now and lived life, I've seen some of what you talk about in action at this point, where as a teenager, younger, you're just thinking in concept, like, really? And then after 30 years of life living, you're like, okay, I see that. And so that interpretation of your Bible alters a little bit too,
That's
right? I would
and that's
think
what Stephanie, I think, is saying.
Yeah. You know, yeah, it's really life's experiences alter how you kind of see things too. And
so if you don't mind, thank you so much, Mike, for kind of going down that road, because I think that's such an important question. I think a lot of people have questions about that. So In other words, do we still have an accurate representation of the scripture that was written originally, as you said, in Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic? And do we still have an accurate representation of what was written? And sometimes, there's wild claims out there on the internet and stuff that can kind of throw people off.
The internet's a fun place, man.
But it's really exciting. I would encourage people to really study into that, because there's just a multitude of solid translations. Now, there are paraphrases where they just kind of try to get that gist of it. That's a little different. It can be nice for reading, but to actually dig in and study and try to determine, do we have an accurate representation of what was originally inspired by God to these writers?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy it's amazing how close it really is. And so there's tools. We live in a time of information. It's amazing, but you can look up what the original word in Hebrew or Greek or Aramaic was, and I've done it quite a bit through the years, and it's amazing that the translators were very careful. And I believe that we have a very accurate representation in English, yes. We have to, what I appreciate about what you said is we have to maintain some humility to understand that we're still going to learn our whole lives.
Yes.
So when we say it's not really so much a different interpretation as, in my opinion, as it's more understanding of what, but what Kelly said, I don't know if we have time for him I'd like for him to delve a little bit more into that if he wants to.
Yeah, we got a few minutes.
When he said it's alive, that's the difference, that it's we believe it's a supernatural book that the Holy Spirit is actually using to reveal truth to us. And so, yes, we're gaining, hopefully, and that's the plan, right, to gain a little more understanding as we go, but recognize that none of us come close to having all the answers.
Sure.
We just are learners together.
And regardless, I believe, when we fear, it's human nature, the things that make us scared, and the unknown is generally the biggest. And obviously, the world we live in right now, and I'm just saying, it sometimes feels scary. Sometimes understanding the plan makes it where is, and I think Bible study is one of these things that says this reminds you of the plan.
Amen.
And you kind of say, like I personally believe, this is our trial, this is our test. This ain't supposed to be easy. It's going to be hard. We're going to do things, but you come on the other side. You come through following God's path, and you be all right. And regardless of what's going on this earth and who tells you what to wear, what you read on the internet, you're going to be all right.
Well, that's a good point. And we're studying the Revelation to start our semester off this fall in the evening class. And the point that you just made is so good, because the Revelation, Jesus reveals what you just said. If you are with me and you have accepted me as your Lord and Savior, in the end, we prevail. I don't know about you, but I like John Wayne movies. I know there's just 2 or 3 of them that he dies in, right? But if you avoid those 2 or 3, when I'm watching John Wayne movie, I know he's going to make it, right? And I'm not nervous. I know John Wayne's going to make it in the end. Well, I think that's part of why God gave us this, Jesus revealed the end, because we know we're going to make it in him. We don't have to sweat the small stuff. We don't have to get lost in the details. We don't have to get carried away by the internet, because in the end, he's still standing, and those of us who have called on his name are standing with him. No matter what's going on around us, we can know that. I used to always skip. My kids got into Harry Potter early on, and I didn't like them reading it at first. By the end, man, I was in it as much as they were.
And when I ain't gonna lie, I got into them too.
When that last book came out, we pre-ordered it and went down to Hastings and picked it up, and it was this big old thing. And I took it out of the box, and I stopped on the way home. I just read the last page. I wanted to know Harry lived. And when I saw Harry live, I'm like, nothing, no matter.
Spoiler.
No matter how dark it's going to be, Harry makes it, right? That's what the revelation is.
Absolutely.
No matter how dark it is, Christ prevails, and you will prevail with him.
Absolutely.
Sorry. Stephanie needs to talk about what they're studying.
We're starting at the other end of the Bible, Genesis. So
Very good.
God's initial creation.
So the beginning.
Very beginning.
That's a good place to start. So this is really, that's a great, really, if you, I love that. That's a great. So now when's the first classes? When do we need to pre-register? Just come on, talk a little bit about
the Women's Day class. Actually, our first day is tomorrow.
Okay.
We start at 9:30.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. There's several different classes.
Yes, we have an evening class that meets on Tuesday evenings.
Okay.
That's Lonnie and Kelly's class. That's a co-ed class.
Okay.
The Wednesday mornings is women and children only.
Oh, okay.
And we'll be studying Colossians first.
Very good. Excellent.
Studying that and then Genesis.
Do the groups study the same curriculum, or is it different? So the night one's going to be different than the women's group. Very good.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys are starting with Genesis tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do Colossians first. We've got a 6-week study of Colossians.
Okay,
and then we'll start
dip into Genesis after that,
and wrap up our
your
year with that.
Your appetizer will be Colossians, and then your main course will be very cool. Very good. But so it starts tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
At what time?
9:30.
At what?
At Christ Church.
At Christ
on
Church.
Sycamore.
Very good. Do just come. You need to pre-register. They just show up.
They can pre-register online
at
roswell.cbsclass.org.
Okay.
That'll help get some of the paperwork out of the way for tomorrow.
So we can dive right into lessons, and that will be the discussion.
If that's not an option, we can register them on the spot.
If you need to. But if you got a little time today, go online, get it pre-done, then we can show up and sit down and get started tomorrow. But first class is tomorrow.
Yeah. We do have a children's program, but we are almost full right now.
Okay, so
we're trying to grow it, but there might be a wait list for certain age groups.
Any volunteers want to get involved and be happy to
We could
help
use
out?
that. That's right. But the Tuesday night class, we also have a children's program as well.
Okay.
We don't start until a week from tonight.
Okay, so you
On
got
the
a week ahead leadway on this one.
And
okay.
right. And Kelly, you want to tell them about the Facebook page?
Well, there's a Facebook page, Roswell Evening Community Bible Study, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
You can find it if you search Roswell Community Bible Study on Facebook, and it's got all of our information and the QR code. I think the day class has a page, doesn't it?
We have a Facebook page as well.
Oh, perfect. Excellent.
It's just Roswell Women's.
Okay.
And I think both of our classes have English second language core group.
And
we no longer have a Spanish-speaking core group.
Okay.
But we do on Tuesday nights.
Okay. So again, any volunteers, we could use them for the women's group on Wednesdays here. Now, I imagine if you don't remember any of that, but if you get on Facebook and you just type in Roswell Community Bible Study, something of those words, you'll probably get both groups that pop up, and you can like and follow and ask questions and do everything. But please remember, if you want to join the women's group, our first class is tomorrow. So you got to get on the stick here today.
One thing about that, though, Stephanie, what if they already had plans for tomorrow? I mean, they could still come the next week, right?
Well,
you can join at any time. You'll still get the same lesson book.
Yeah.
You just have a little bit more homework.
A little homework
this
first week, but absolutely. But yeah, come and meet, and then that's the other side too. Is yes, we're all growing and learn, but guess what? You want to make some friends and maybe broaden your social circle a little bit.
Absolutely.
And, like especially I imagine with the women's group and their kids, you're like, hey, now we got some friends we can coordinate babysitters and go have lunch and make some networking opportunities there too, and kind of work out stuff. And so who knows? Could be some ancillary opportunities out of this too.
And there's no registration fee is required.
Okay.
You can make a donation of a fee if you can, but otherwise it's available to all.
There is a cost. It does cost materials and all the books and things. So if
we have scholarships, I think both classes do, to cover anybody that just is unable to pay the fee. Yeah. And then ours is next Tuesday, and same thing. You can show up at Christ Church at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock and register there. We'd be happy to have anybody that was interested in studying with us.
Yeah, come and or like you said, you can go online and pre-register here. But if you happen to, space out on it, come on in. We'll get you in. We'll come join us and we'll make room for you. And now, how long does this session of classes go? It'll start when does this wrap at the end of the year here, or how long does this session go?
This session, I think our fall semester runs until December 9th.
Gotcha. Okay.
We try to follow the school schedule.
Gotcha.
So
you go
that
to
way,
about the holidays here. Gotcha. Okay.
And then we'll start back up.
Then you pick up in the
spring.
Yes. Perfect. So it kind of just follow school. So it kind of works along with the lines if you do have kids in school and that kind of thing. You can drop, kind of. Perfect. Excellent. Did we get it all?
The only other thing I think on my mind, to just as far as logistics, Mike, is just that on Tuesday nights we do have we break into smaller groups for part of the study to discuss, and like you said, friendships bond. We have those groups for men, we have groups for women, we have groups for couples, and then as Kelly mentioned, we have English as a second language, Spanish language core group as well. So that's
no
so
excuse.
The people know.
That's the reason. Come visit. We got it all covered.
Yeah.
But yeah, really come and see what it's about. Come see what this is. You might open a whole new world to you and make a whole new group of friends too. You never know.
Absolutely.
Good deal. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate the visit. And if we need updates or anything as we come, I know mid-semester there, but if you want to juice people, remind people, please let us know. Come on, and we'll be happy to do that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
SRN News, Garrett Thomason in Washington. The U.S.-Canada trade dispute is heating up. President Trump's 50% tariffs on a range of Canadian imports are now in effect. Ottawa vows retaliation, and in response, the president threatens to expand the tariffs to include 50% tariffs on Canadian car parts and steel starting on the 1st of January. President Trump says Iran is about to face what he calls economic D-Day, with more severe U.S. sanctions on Iran kicking in. We'll find out more about that later today. Voters in several states head to the polls tomorrow. They'll be casting ballots in primary runoffs. The Trump administration has a plan aimed at strengthening oversight of mail-in voting. That plan is advancing even as the issue is working its way through the courts. On Wall Street this morning, stocks are mixed. The Dow is up, the Nasdaq in the red. This is SRN News.
Now, time for another Otis Advisory.
Now, here's something we found going through the junk drawer. You might think I'm just putting the big pants on you with this, but no, this is real. Let's just say you are a victim of wife supremacy, and you just accidentally stumbled into a child-infested area. Suddenly, someone suggests that you, cowboy, change the baby's diaper. Well, first, you need to know that the correct people have new rules for all this. So, before you go floundering around down there and all that, you're going to need to ask the little guy for permission first, just to be sure dry pants would be okay with him. It goes like this.
Hey, little partner, I see you've got a pre-existing condition going on there down south. Well, I'm here to take care of that for you, but first, we need to be sure your wet pants rights aren't being violated. Now, I noticed you're going commando today, so if it's okay with you, and let's just say it is, we're going to switch out of those underpants to some that haven't been peed yet. You'll thank me later.
You know, this is just one of a whole snootful of big ideas waiting for you, right here in the new America. Hell, the chopsticks and avocado toast people are worried somehow that the orange man is about to have them tied to a chair with their eyelids all held open and have them forced to watch kids saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, stars, that would just about do it right there. But for now, hell, go ahead, put on your eating pants and enjoy some more high octane and meat. You know you want to. This is your Uncle Otis. I'll see you at the Peace March.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll stay at about 105 on the afternoon high today with high pressure in the central plains and the southern plains. That's covering our area too. Should be sunny. Overnight looks clear. We'll dip into the low 70s, 100 to 105 for the afternoon high again on Tuesday. It looks like we'll stay sunny. Pretty hot on Wednesday and Thursday too. Sunny and about 100. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. President Donald Trump announced that his administration will allow more beef to be temporarily imported into the United States without triggering high tariffs, as he remains under pressure to cut costs and address affordability issues ahead of November's midterms. A Texas court has slashed a $50 million judgment to $1.5 million against InfoWars founder Alex Jones over falsely calling the 2012 Sandy Hook school shooting a hoax. Tesla and other Chinese car makers are making a major recall of more than 4 million vehicles over safety concerns, mostly related to their door handles. Many Washington, D.C. residents, city and federal workers are hoping to take back their streets today following the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. That's because they had to endure major gridlock with dozens of roads and streets closed, parking and travel restrictions, along with a mass transit detour. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Exciting news for Southeast New Mexico. The Advanced Heart and Vascular Center of New Mexico in Carlsbad, home to Dr. Amanda Ryan's trusted cardiology care for over 13 years, is now part of Current Clinic. That means world-class electrophysiology services right here in Southeast New Mexico. No more 3-hour drives to see a specialist. Current Clinic is bringing advanced, life-changing treatment for atrial fibrillation, AFib, and other heart rhythm disorders close to home. Early intervention for AFib can dramatically lower your risk of stroke, and our goal is to help our community understand just how important that is. You and your loved ones deserve comprehensive, cutting-edge heart care without leaving town. If you're experiencing an irregular heartbeat or AFib symptoms, expert care is now available locally. Visit currentclinic.com today to learn more and schedule your consultation. Current Clinic, easy access to comprehensive AFib care right here in Southeast New Mexico.
Hey, Roswell, time is running out to cash in on some of the biggest savings of the season. The loan and lease termination sales event is happening right now at Roswell Ford. Drive away with a truckload of savings in a brand new Ford F-Series pickup with financing as low as 0% APR and make no payments for 90 days. Upside down in your current car, truck, or SUV and want out early? Roswell Ford will do whatever it takes to get you out of your trade, even if you owe up to $10,000 more than it's worth. Have less than perfect credit? Roswell Ford works with a network of aggressive lenders that will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Get on board at Roswell Ford during our loan and lease termination event and get huge savings on all new F-Series trucks, America's top-selling pickup in each of the past 49 years. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 36 months is $27.78 per thousand finance on F-150 trucks. Excludes Raptor. Interest accrues from date of sale. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Start your journey towards a meaningful healthcare career with the Occupational Therapy Assistant Program at ENMU Roswell. With this program, you'll gain hands-on clinical skill development, enjoy small class sizes and supportive faculty, engage in real-world fieldwork experiences, and prepare for your NBCOT certification. Call 575-624-7266 to learn more or log on to roswell.enmu.edu. ENMU Roswell. Success starts here.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:56. Stay tuned next hour. About 9:15 or so, we're going to replay our interview we had last week with Tamara Schubert from the Chavez County Extension Office, talking a little bit about 4-H and, of course, their Extension Club classes and some of their fall events as well, too. So we'll play that next hour. I saw a video. It's one of these cooking videos. You know how you got the little ones, and most of them are like travesty ones, but this guy actually like cooks, I don't know if you call it nostalgic meals or poor people meals, maybe. Like meals I remember growing up as a kid, kind of things. But what one he did today, or the video I saw earlier, was he was making cream chip beef, SOS, depending on where you come from and what it is. But it's I don't think it's as big out west. It's bigger back east, and of course military. The SOS meal, cream chip beef on toast. But I'm a fan of it. Growing up, I had it. Like my mom would have it I think she'd get like a buy frozen, like you could buy at the market, like a frozen one, and you heat it up in the oven, then you put it on toast. I don't ever recall my mom like actually making it, and of course in the military I had it, and camping or whatever. But every time I had it, like I never made the cream chip beef. Like it was either like from a restaurant or from the military or pre-made kind of deal. And so this guy made it, but what kind of baffled me, and now I'm kind of on a quest and think if this is a thing or not, is he put a can of chipped beef, like a can like you would of canned vegetables or canned beans or something, but it was canned chipped beef. And that's what he started with, and then he added his cornstarch and milk and cream, whatever, make the rest of it. But is that a thing? I don't think I've ever seen cans of chipped beef. And now I'm like, is that I want to go see if this, like the guy had a can. Now I'm like, I don't know, did I get AI'd here? But now I'm going to look. I did a cursory, like I got on the Walmart app and like typed in chip beef, and I saw nothing that it was either pre-made stuff or it was like some kind of beef jerky in a bag. And I'm like, no. So, but then I saw something in a jar, maybe. So I don't know. I don't know if people have experience about this, but now I kind of want to make. Now I have a hankering for cream chip beef, weirdly enough. But I want to I think I want to make it. Can I get chip beef in a can, and where can I get this? I think I want to try to make this. So, I don't know. Help me out. Leave a comment in the video or something if you're a chip beef connoisseur or expert on this, because I never had a hankering to make it. Now I kind of do. I'm sure I can easily buy a thing like the frozen stuff and heat it up and do it that way, and it's probably tastes the same, but the thought of canned chip beef intrigues me. I kind of want to know how gross that is, or how not gross that is. So, anyway. All right, it is closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. The conflict with Iran entering a new phase as the U.S. imposes economic sanctions on the Islamic Republic.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is expected to announce the new measures at a press conference at 2 p.m. Eastern today and detail the new sanctions. This comes as Iran's currency hits a historic low. Bessent writing in the Financial Times, now we are entering the end game. At dawn begins an economic D-Day, the single greatest financial offensive ever marshaled against an adversary. Laura Winters reporting.
Following the collapse of U.S.-Canada trade talks over the weekend, a 50% tariff on $20 billion worth of Canadian imports has taken effect. Ottawa vows retaliation. President Trump says Canada has not treated American farmers fairly. He's threatening to further expand the tariffs to include autos, auto parts, and steel. 15,000 acres charred, tens of thousands forced from their homes in Reno, Nevada, as the Hawk Fire continues burning amid bone-dry conditions. How's the economy faring? We'll find out more later in the week.
Consumer confidence data arrived Tuesday, with economists expecting another decline. On Wednesday, the government releases its preferred inflation gauge, the PCE report. It has found inflation above the Federal Reserve's 2% target. The Fed is widely expected to hold interest rates steady in September, while President Trump and Republicans focus on restoring energy stability and protecting household budgets. Ken Lorman reporting.
It was loud and it was fast. The IndyCar Freedom 250 race through the streets of downtown Washington, D.C. over the weekend. Celebration of America's 250th birthday. Watching Wall Street, the Dow trading about 138 points higher, while the NASDAQ is down 154. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250, micro. And yes, I told you so.
UK Prime Minister Andy Burnham is in Kiev for talks with Ukrainian President Zelensky and other international leaders.
The visit comes as Ukraine marks Independence Day and is Burnham's first overseas trip since taking office. Other European leaders also arrived in the capital, including European Council President Antonio Costa. Burnham is expected to announce the UK government has agreed to allow a defence company to release classified information relating to British components used in the Scalp long-range missile. This would could pave the way for France and Ukraine to advance plans for local production of the weapon in Ukraine. I'm Lawrence Brooks.
Military officials from Uganda and Burundi have visited Israel to discuss deploying troops to Gaza. They'd be part of an international stabilization force for the Palestinian territory envisioned by President Trump's Board of Peace. Uganda's parliament approved the troop contribution this month. Burundi has not commented publicly. News and analysis, townhall.com. 4 states still have primaries upcoming next month.
Primary season is still in full swing, with voters in 4 states gearing up to vote in September. Massachusetts will hold its primary on Tuesday, September 1st. The following week after Labor Day, on Tuesday, September 8th, New Hampshire voters will head to the polls. Then Wednesday, September 9th, Rhode Island holds its primary contests. And last but not least, Delaware will hold its primary on Tuesday, September 15th.
Correspondent Laura Winters. Growing number of colleges offering 3-year degree programs, which cut a year off the traditional bachelor's with reduced credit. Advocates say it's part of a solution to the college affordability crisis, but critics worry that they'll narrow what students learn too much, confuse employers, will also limit graduate school options, and create headaches in fields that require state licenses. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3. Crazy Pianos. Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yes. Welcome all who come here.
Like, it was funny, right before I came on air, I was scrolling Facebook and this picture popped up. And I don't know if it's like seeing the cream chip beef video last hour and having a sudden craving for chip beef, but literally I saw this picture and it was showing a Air Force basic training photo, our barracks. And it's the exact, it's like we all go to the same place, Wichita or San Antonio, Lackland Air Force Base. But they showed a picture of the 2 pictures, one of the barracks inside and then one external of the building.
Right.
And all the buildings look like that. But inside, they're exactly the same, too. Like, this picture, I'm like, not only is this so exact, like in each, I could tell you, I'm sure this is probably not the exact same building I was in. But I could tell you from this picture, like, I stayed in that bunk. When I first part of basic, by week 3 and people were cycled out, they had me move up here. And I'm literally in the picture going, like, and I'm like, this is basic training.
That's sort of.
Here it is.
That's sort of become.
Oh, I had it there and it started doing.
Facebook does that stupid thing. What the? Facebook does that stupid thing where it'll refresh every time you open it, which I really hate.
Right there.
And then you'll never see the post that you were looking for.
Yeah, man, it was right there for a second. Then it just went squirrely.
One of my favorite things to do, at least recently, is like, okay, for example, over the weekend, I needed to. My son's classmate, his friend Royce, was having his 7th birthday party. Which, by the way, happy belated birthday, Royce. And it was at his grandma's house, and I had to figure out where that was. So I jumped into my Maps app, and Google Maps will allow you to pull up Street View. And then from there, you can pull up Aerial View. And so I found the place, and then I went aerial, and I'm like, I'm going to peek in their backyard because it's a pool party. So I want to see what kind of pool we're dealing with. And it was covered, but I could see the rectangle that was the pool.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so now I know kind of how the shape of the pool and all that. Then I'm like, I could just fly around Roswell right now and look into people's backyards. There are certain ones that have like fences that are so high that you never can see what's actually going on in there.
Yeah.
But I've always been kind of curious. So I'm flying around Roswell, kind of looking at some spots, and I don't know when any of these pictures, the aerial pictures specifically, were taken.
Right.
But like, I eventually ended up here, and I guess it was on a day that either you weren't parked. Either you were parked street side at one point and then back in the back.
Yeah.
Because this was your old Jeep, your black Jeep.
Oh wow,
was
this was a couple years ago. Yeah.
Back here, and also up here.
Ooh.
It was weird, man. I was like, how'd that happen?
Now, hold on, pull back the curtain.
Yeah.
My old Jeep. There is someone in this building.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think of that.
I bet.
Yep.
That was his Jeep street side. Mine in the alley is probably because we had two Jeeps that were very similar.
That threw me off for a minute. I'm like, now I've seen it when you do Street View, like Google Street View. You can actually, it'll date the photos,
right?
So you can go to like one that's from 2024, and then you go like half a block down, and it's from 2017, and then you turn around, and that whole area is just undeveloped.
Right.
So those pictures can vary wildly, but it was very odd because I had the aerial view perfect, and it was like. They had the building cut in half, like kind of split. The colors were kind of off, and then there was your Jeep, and then here was another almost exact replica. It blew my mind.
Well, I got a new Jeep. You got to send the Google thing through again to go update it.
Got to redo the Googler. I was nowhere to be found.
Well, I'm curious because I haven't looked in a minute, but like they hadn't updated the Google aerial in a while because, like, and this was several years ago when I looked. Like my old house was not there yet. Like it was still kind of a dirt lot. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, it was like they have not updated this in 10 plus
that
years.
That could be, and
yeah, but I bet they've updated it now.
Yeah, but like the Street View, when you go to the Street View or whatever, I've actually ventured down this alley, and on that day, you and I were both here because we were parked. I had my red car there, and then your Jeep. So
that's a more modern one. So so they haven't updated. They've been downtown more recently.
Right. Every now and again, I'll see them. Okay. I didn't want to do anything at the time because I kind of chickened out.
Yeah.
I saw another Cybertruck in town, and I just want to call you out.
Calling out Cybertrucks?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
Like I thought we learned our lesson. I thought that we figured out that these weren't good, and I still see them all the time.
People like them.
I don't understand it. Maybe updates have fixed things. I don't know, but it's just it hurts my eyes to look at them.
Yeah,
That's the only way I can think to.
They are. Yeah, they're not. I mean, I guess beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I ain't beholding that beauty. Just because I'm not one of those people.
Roswell in general has been a little on edge lately, so I didn't want to roll the window down and give him the thumbs down. But hey, buddy, it's for you. I don't know if you're listening, but if you are, that's for you.
And look, and as far as electric technology and all that goes, look. Until it does what a gas car thing does, I'm not too worried about it. And until it does that, and it costs me the same, and is about the same amount of work and effort, then until then I ain't ready to care about it.
Yeah, they're really great for Brown Town local travel, even a couple hours out. But with the range that they offer, it's just it's not great.
In cities and things, I'm sure there's a great place for them, but. Out in the middle of nowhere where we belong or we are, that then is not as amenable.
It's funny though, like how. So I was at the grand opening of the Artesia Recreation Center, and I got to tell you, if you haven't been down there, I may or may not have talked some smack about Roswell when I was up there because man, is this place. If you've ever watched Parks and Recreation.
I've seen a few episodes,
Artesia is very much like Eagleton is to Pawnee. Like everything is better. You hit the water fountain, you're like, is that mineral water? Like, oh no, it's sparkling. But this facility, it's 2 floors, it's beautiful. But Gene was telling me, he's like, where we skimped? We were required to put in EV stations, EV charging stations. He said, that's where we skimped. They're basically dryer plugins. You have to bring your own cable and plug in.
I think they met the bare minimum requirement.
Yeah, exactly.
To say it's an EV station.
That's the place where they skimped a little bit.
Well,
but
it is oil and gas country after all.
That is true. It did smack a little different when you
just saying,
yeah.
They're
like, we have to put these
that
here.
rest of the building was paid for a lot of the liquid gold there.
How much did you spend on that sign over the area where the EVs charge that says "loser country"? I mean that. That wasn't necessary.
Well, and this is where we start getting into, landman and all this.
Right.
You know how much plastic is in that thing that's saving the energy? We get into those discussions, but hold my dime bag of chili powder.
It's funny. I do still have that dime bag of chili powder you gave me last week.
Our library is awesome when they do it. When they come in each month, they do their spice of the month and this spice. But she always leaves me samples, and it's like these little.
Well, it makes me laugh because there's only people that buy those bags, generally speaking,
are people up in nefarious activity.
Right.
Library's like, no, we need them for Spice Club.
So now I got a teener of chili powder in my office. But it's funny because I couldn't help but remember Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Jesse Pinkman's special meth seasoning was he called his meth chili pea because he added a little chili powder in there.
That was his little signature.
Yeah.
There's a scene that's floating around the internet when they were making that movie. It's him and Cranston kind of talking, and I'm not sure. I can't remember if the thing is actually them on set and it's just the camera's catching it, or if it was an interview talking about it. But they're literally sitting there and they've got the meth there, and I guess they're literally stuck down in their little cave down there for hours. And Aaron Paul's actually eating the candy.
Yeah.
And Cranston's like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Have you tried it? It's pretty good." Yeah. He's like, "It's all pure sugar. I mean, you're just gonna be going." And Cranston's all like, "No." And finally, I guess after hours, and he finally. Next thing you know, they cut to the scene. They're literally just popcorning it in the bowl.
Well,
it's eating the meth cake.
For those who don't know, every bit of the blue meth that you see in Breaking Bad was rock candy that was made by a shop. It was a real mom and pop shop down in Old Town called the Candy Lady.
Right.
And I don't think she's open anymore, but she was responsible for pounds and pounds and pounds of.
She was the biggest
rock
candy meth retailer.
She was essentially
in New Mexico.
she became a rock candy dealer.
Right.
But the cool part about it, and I hope she's still open. So I don't think she's in Old Town anymore, but I hope she's still open somewhere. She had a shrine to Breaking Bad at the front.
Yeah.
Had the Los Pollos Hermanos sign.
Nice.
And then off to the side, because it's a photo op, so they've got props you can grab. I totally have a picture of me. It pops up in my memories every now and again, but with the Heisenberg hat, sunglasses, holding a big bag of meth, and I think a bag of cash or a gun or something. But I think I was wearing a Los Pollos Hermanos shirt.
Right.
I think it was a loaner too,
a loner shirt.
Yeah, I didn't even have it. I didn't have the shirt.
You have a loaner for the picture.
No, I'm sorry. I was wearing a station logo shirt from a radio station I worked at the time. So that was floating around. But yeah, that was a really cool little spot in Old Town. But she was completely. I'm sure there were employees there, but that place manufactured hundreds of pounds of rock candy for that show.
I wonder how that connection was made. Did producers show up in her store one day, or did somebody happen to go on the set and say this would be perfect? Is the creator walking through Old Town, sees this and says that'd be perfect for? I mean, how does that come to be?
Vince Gilligan is very he's a man of the people when it comes to the stuff that he does, because he likes including the communities, including the areas that he's shooting in the story.
Right.
It's it has to be either him and his crew were walking through Old Town and they found the Candy Lady, or somebody that was working for him said we need a rock candy thing, and somebody said I know just the person, and made the connection. But
either way, she got her 15 minutes of fame from it.
You know what? That's probably why the Candy Lady's not open anymore. She retired off the millions of dollars of rock candy.
Well,
sold.
Imagine, didn't she start an online business through all that, where you could get it online and all that?
Yeah, at some point she had it online.
She may have retired in her, maybe the company's still going, and I'm sure, I don't know, or maybe it all just blew away in the wind. Who knows? But let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. Speaking of sweet treats, Tamara Schubert will be joining us. Well, she joined us last week. We're going to be playing the interview when she joined us last week, talking about 4-H, FFA signups, fair season. They continue on, and of course, extension clubs and some of their fall events and things going on too. So we'll play that interview for you here in just a few.
They are still open at their same location right there in Old Town.
Oh, good.
So there you go. Next time you're in Old Town, pop into the Candy Lady and enjoy the shrine. They also make handmade fudge and chocolates, New Mexico green or red chili caramels and brittles.
I was just in Old Town, like over the summer, like when was that? June maybe?
Okay.
When was it?
So like where?
No. It was back in spring. It was like in March.
So like on the side where the melting pot is.
Yeah.
If you go in that way and then take a right, the Candy Lady is like within that little corner of shops.
I don't know how I missed it, or maybe I did not realize I did see it. But I didn't put two and two together. I just didn't put two and two together.
Hey, next time.
But I don't even recall seeing Breaking Bad stuff or anything anywhere.
Really?
Maybe.
But
I didn't. I don't know if I walked in out of like, no, stay away, Mike.
Yeah.
Evil, bad, things that are not good for you in there. I may have done that move.
Sugar.
Right. And not put two and two together. But now I'm going to go back there and now I got to go.
Yeah, now you've got a destination.
Yeah. All right, it is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock. I reckon we ought to do some weather and what have you.
Probably should.
I'm excited. Don't be, but they're giving us like a 40% chance of rain Thursday night.
Ooh, okay.
No other time.
Thursday night.
That Thursday
night. So
night.
not Friday, so football's still safe.
Yeah.
But we have to wait until Thursday.
Well, and you know what that means. It's going to dissipate. It'll be like 20 tomorrow.
Well, I will say when I was coming back from dropping off Hunter, when I was coming south, there was a long strip of pretty gray cloud over on the eastern horizon of the sky, and it blocked the sun just enough to where it was a quite peaceful drive back, actually.
Well, very good. Well, maybe we'll get some Thursday. So maybe not.
Fingers crossed. Do your rain dances, and like Mike said, wash your cars.
I just now noticed your shirt, and I'm trying to know.
So I have a story. If you've got the time.
I don't.
I'm not one who. I'll make it quick. I'm not. You know that I'm not somebody who impulse buys a lot of things, right? That's not my style at all. No.
Right.
So this is a shirt for wrestler Kenny Omega.
Okay.
Okay. The reason I got this shirt is the shirt was called Feline Lightning.
Okay.
I'm assuming this is Kenny's cat.
Okay.
It's a Siamese or Burmese, technically. This is Stefan. This is straight up my cat.
Nice.
Like down to the blue eyes, the hair inside. This is my cat.
Nice.
I saw this when I was scrolling. I'm like, I have to have this. I just got it in the mail over the weekend, and I'm very proud. Although it is one of those shirts.
It checks two boxes: cat daddy and wrestling.
Right. It is, however, one of those shirts I have to explain to people because it doesn't really show. They're like, "Is that just because your cat's Omega?" I'm like, "No. See, there's a tiny AEW logo down here, tiny AEW, and that'll tell you that yes, this is a wrestling shirt." But as soon as I saw the cat, I'm like, "That is my cat. I have to have that shirt."
So, you could easily go into an animal rescue party or wrestling party wearing this and fit right in.
And they'll get it.
Yeah, they'll get it.
It's inside of a reference enough that if I ever meet Kenny Omega in person, he's going to be like, holy moly.
Yeah, you might get a signature or handshake. Or a date. It is 22
I'll
minutes.
take any of those.
Any of the above will be good. 22 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's get you into weather. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll roll right into our interview with Tamara Schubert. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll stay at about 105 on the afternoon high today with high pressure in the central plains and the southern plains. That's covering our area too. Should be sunny. Overnight looks clear. We'll dip into the low 70s, 100 to 105 for the afternoon high again on Tuesday. It looks like we'll stay sunny. Pretty hot on Wednesday and Thursday too. Sunny and about 100. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
This lot is stocked. The Summer is Stock sales event is on now at Roswell Hyundai with great deals on an unbelievable selection of fresh new vehicles. Get 3.49% for up to 60 months and $1,000 in bonus cash on in-stock 26 Kona, 3.49% for 60 and $2,000 in bonus cash on in-stock 26 Elantra, and 0% for 60 and up to $3,000 in dealer choice bonus cash on 26 Tucson SE, plus 0 down and no payments for 90 days. The Summer is Stock sales event on now at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 109 West 2nd.
At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flautas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
Grab your dancing boots and gear up for 2 nights of live music and fun coming to downtown Artesia. The 11th annual Red Dirt Black Gold Music Festival hits September 25th and 26th. It all gets underway on Friday night with Heritage Night featuring El Instinto de Chihuahua. The party continues on Saturday with music by the Delk Band.
Where did I go wrong? Did I wait too long?
The Wilder Blue.
Rio River Blue, Palomino Gold.
Logan Ryan Band.
Oh, I'd so put out multicolours and them turquoise rings you like.
And Pecos and the Rooftops.
4 a.m. writing this damn song, but I guess I'm okay.
Plus the New Mexico Brewfest, the Oil Field Cook-Off, local food trucks, vendors, and activities for all ages. Gates open at 4, but the fun's gonna last all night. The 11th annual Red Dirt Black Gold Music Festival, September 25th and 26th in downtown Artesia. Come on down and kick the dust up. And paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
At Ocotillo Family Practice, Pediatrics, and OMED Spa, our team is here for you. Nancy Walker, Fallon Moody, and Tialana Watts are family nurse practitioners offering expert care in family practice, pediatrics, women's health, and aesthetics. Nancy also provides advanced hormone therapy for men and women, including hormone pellet implants that help patients feel their best. Plus, meet Brittany Harrell, our skilled nurse injector, offering a full range of aesthetic procedures to help you look and feel confident. Same-day and walk-in patients are always welcome. Visit Ocotillo Family Practice, Pediatrics, and OMED Spa at 607 West Country Club Road in Roswell. Your family, your health, your beauty, all in one place.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
Studio this morning from the Chaves County Extension Office. Tamara Schubert back with us. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Fabulous.
I didn't realize, you were holding down the fort by yourself. I just learned that activity. So I'm surprised you're as chipper as you are.
It has been a very super busy month, but we do have a new ag agent starting with us this next month. So we're looking forward to that.
Well, maybe next month we'll meet them when
Yes.
they come in here. So, but a welcome blessing, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely.
And just in time, because it's kind of round 2 of fair season.
Yes.
Now we're done with the summer fairs, with the county fairs. Now it's state and in the eastern New Mexico State Fair. So
yes, absolutely.
The 2 big ones left here.
Yeah.
So
thank you to all the supporters that came and supported our kiddos this last month. It was a great fair.
They have another record-breaking livestock auction.
So they haven't got me the total, but we were sitting up there.
Yeah,
which is always great when we can support the kids that way.
Every year they pretty much break the record. Every year they try to outbeat each other. So and they usually do. So
we have a great community. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. But that being said, we are not entirely done yet. Some of these kids will be showing animals here at the next 2 big fairs here. Yeah. And I imagine some do just generally speaking, do kids here sell at the state fair, or do they usually wait till the Eastern? How does that usually work?
So we have a handful, probably 5 to 10 of our livestock kids that show up at State Fair. All of the first place indoor exhibits that were here go up there too. So we take about 300 exhibits on the inside up there, but then we have a handful of kids that do livestock.
Okay.
But the vast majority will wait for Eastern here.
Gotcha. That's what I kind of figured. I was like, well, I mean, I can be honest. I figure, your market, just saying,
you're here.
Crowd.
It's easier. Yes. Yeah.
Might behoove you.
Well, just expense wise too. You're not having to pay for being up there all week.
Shipping it up there and feeding and housing and all that upkeep. Yeah, absolutely. So makes sense. But definitely an experience for the kids to go do that.
Yes.
And go. But so a lot of the crafters and a lot of the home ec side generally will compete up at the state fair.
Yeah, so we take about 300 exhibits every year on that side.
Okay.
So we take them up, get all the judging done, and then we bring them back for the kids too.
Like the baked goods and the cook folks? Do they literally get to bake for each different? I mean, obviously they're not.
Most of them will. Most of them will. Some of them will freeze depending on what the item is and just defrost it. But most of them, cakes, pies, things like that, will have to be rebaked.
Yeah, well, it's fresh. I mean,
so you just hope it turned out as good the second time as it did the first time.
Sure. Well, it's. I guess it's as long. I think as long as the kitchen's the same. You know, with the elevation and stuff, because baking, that doesn't affect that.
Yes, it does.
And then your measurements are precise. And, you know, I'm thinking it should get the same results, right?
You would hope so, right? The science behind it.
Sure, that's absolutely true. But I imagine that's a lot of fun too. Because I'm not gonna lie, even when you mess up, it's still a pretty tasty mistake.
Yes, most of the time, unless you confuse that salt and sugar.
Yeah, that would be the only thing. But I'm curious because I've judged them before, but and I don't really judge. Like I've judged. Like I actually took the Kansas City Barbecue Society. I judged. Like I took a class and got like certified as a judge and judge like the thing. So I've done that. I mean, I've judged Eddy County Fair years ago, the baked goods and all that. So I've done it before. But I know, like, on the barbecue world, like, those guys go crazy to put the perfect, like they'll literally cook 6 slabs of ribs to get the 6 perfect ribs to put in that box. Does it get crazy like that with baked goods? Like they're going to bake 3 pies and the one that's like the perfect one is the one how does all that work?
So within our baking projects for the kids, they all, just to level the field and stuff like that, they use the same recipe that we provide them with, one that's tested. Of course, you have to take into account altitude and things like that.
Sure.
But they use the same recipe. And then we do task them with finding, if they're doing cookies or they're doing biscuits or whatever, the best 3 to exhibit, right? So brownies don't turn in the edges, you know, get the middles. And so you have some that definitely take that as a challenge. And then, you know, some of them just do it for the love of doing it.
Gotcha. So. I was kind of curious about that because, like, does it get that crazy like the barbecue guys do? And so yes and no. It's kind of. So there's I didn't think about that. Is there like a standardization, like, because I figure like grandma's pie tastes different than mom's pie because she puts a little something different, something. You don't know that's not how it works.
So we have some self-determined projects that they can experiment with, and they can turn in recipes of their own choosing. Yeah. But the vast majority, just to level the fields, they use a set standard recipe, and then it's how they execute it.
So it's really not about. It's really about can you cook? Can you bake?
Can you learn
the function, the skill sets of those things?
Absolutely.
Not so much how creative you are at a dish maker. How good are you at the act of baking and cooking?
So the part that gets them there is we do have a state food challenge, which is actually one of the things that our kids are doing tonight here.
Okay.
So they're giving a pantry to select from, along with some mystery ingredients.
Oh, nice.
And they have to figure out what they're going to cook.
Okay.
And break it down nutritionally and cost-wise for the judges. So they have some free range. They've got to get creative.
Well, and
on
how
the
real
spot.
world is that? I mean, how many times do families come home and you're like, open the pantry.
What's for dinner?
What's for dinner tonight? Yeah. I got a box of this, a box of that, and a can of this. All right, we're making chili or whatever it is.
Yes, absolutely. So it really puts them in there, and then they have to think on their feet as a team and come up with something for the judges.
Love that. That's great. That's awesome. It's kind of like, do you study, like, do you watch Food Network, like guys' grocery games or something to study up things like
that? Exactly. Top Chef, man.
Speaking of which, I saw a commercial for a new show that I'm kind of excited about. It's Bobby Flay, another Bobby Flay joint, but it's like line cooking competition. Like they'll get like some of them Top Chef dudes, and they'll literally be a line, and they compete against like some top restaurants in their line, cook a meal, and they'll get like diners to like rate them on who did it better. And I was like, I'm oddly curious to watch that show.
Watch that one. Hey, I like some of those when they came out with that leftover makeover.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, now I can get behind something like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, they get a little crazy with the bake-offs and all that, with like Halloween cookie. I'm like, you've seen some of those nut things. Have you ever tried doing those things in 4-H?
We did. So we had a Nellet challenge not very long ago.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Make one of those big 6-foot holiday themed cakes or something.
Maybe not that fun. But yeah, we did have some nailed it challenge. So the kids are into that. And so as we let the kids plan their year, they've come up with quite a few
nice
things.
Love it. But now, what about some of the sewers and because a lot of that probably transitions from fair to fair. You make a sweater or an Afghan.
Yeah,
it shows it.
So for our indoor exhibits, those that place first at county fair, which was last month, will go to state fair and then come back to Eastern.
Okay.
But if they place second, third, fourth at county fair, then they're eligible for Eastern as well.
Okay.
So they'll come back in on several of those fronts.
Nice, very cool. So, she was curious. At the end of the fair season, do they get that garment back?
Absolutely.
I didn't know if it was something like, do people sell those or what happens to those? Yeah.
So sometimes we've had that where, someone comes in and goes, oh, I really like that. And they're like, oh, yeah, you can have it when fair's done, but you have to wait till fair's done, which is 3 months down the road.
It makes sense.
Unfortunately for sewing, you just hope it still fits by the time that the fair run gets done.
True. Well, think of it this way. You'll get it in time for the holidays if you want to make it as a gift.
There you go. There you go.
Make a great Christmas gift for somebody.
Which we've had kids do that too. I've had kids make tote bags for grandma or grandpa and go like, Happy Mother's Day. Now I need it back for the next 5 months.
The fair. And then you get it back for Christmas.
Regifting at its finest.
Well, I know like some of the art, like paintings and some of the things you see, like some of that will sell because it's art, it is. But I didn't know if like some of the Afghans and some of the, because as a person that grew up with a mother that crocheted, and I mean that's in and of itself heirloom stuff. I mean, I literally have crocheted blankets and that my mom made that they ain't going nowhere. But,
right.
I mean that's kind of an heirloom type.
Well, and some of those are made with people in mind, right? And then we're done by the time Christmas and stuff like that hits, so it's a great opportunity for them to
yeah, exactly,
clean out and get ready for next year.
Exactly, and by the way, I will say this. This is something I think you should steer every kid in crafting stuff to do with their hands. Sewing, art, whatever it is, I don't care. And I don't care if they're boys or girls. I don't care about any of that stuff. It doesn't matter. The skill sets, if you have someone that's handy with a thread and needle, they're going to serve them well throughout life.
And it's great for their mental health, right? It gets them engaged, but it's also good for just problem solving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And it transitions into other things too. And they can begat what they learn through this, they can begat into other things.
Yes.
And it's like you said, it's cathartic. It's very, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's just, you get lost in the patterns. You're counting depending on, like, I know with crocheting. My mom, she was constantly, and I told this story before, and I may have told it to you, but she'd literally be there in the living room crocheting. And she'd be watching TV, crocheting, and I'd be sitting there watching. I'd miss something on the TV, and I was like, what'd she say? Well, wouldn't hear her for like a minute. She said, close the door. Like 2 minutes later.
Yeah, she's like, nope, that's what happened.
She's busy counting rows and doing her, but she's like, how the hell did she just...
Yeah. No, I get it. So I'm the same way. I can't, I have one of those, I have to multitask.
Yeah.
And continuously. So sitting and watching TV doesn't work, but crocheting and watching TV does. Yeah.
Yeah, she was crocheting and cross stitch. That was her other, she did a lot of the, like... She had a Norman Rockwell phase where she was doing like all the Norman Rockwell prints and turning them into cross stitch.
Yeah.
So I got a bunch of those somewhere. And German Hummels too, weirdly enough. I got some German Hummel ones and all. But anyway, this is my mom memory. So I think a lot of that when I think a lot of this stuff. And so I always say, I wish I had the talent my mom had. She was she was an artist
and some of those are dying out. So the more that we can teach our kids, it stays around.
And I don't care what you can tell you, everybody needs to know how to cook. Everybody knows you got to cook food, go pick your own foods, grow your own foods, educate yourself on this stuff. It's too easy in this world. Marketing is a mess. It's always been a mess, but it's even a bigger mess now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they're trying to be health conscious and stuff, but there's so many.
You can't always believe the fad that's going around or the marketing, like you said. You can't always believe some of those. So definitely do your research. There's some things out there, especially the trends as they come and go, that aren't really research based on that information. And so make sure you do your research and use research, not just Google.
Yeah, and that's why I say, for your youngins, 4-H helps learn this kind of stuff. Now for the adults, the rest of the extension office can help you with the rest of that. Yeah. But definitely 4-H, I think, because, I think every child should have those skill sets. They should be able to cook for themselves, take care of themselves, and that being sewing, that's every person. Everybody should have those skills. And 4-H is great at teaching that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So definitely. What's some other things we definitely want to put on people's radar?
So we'll do a little bit. So FCS side, crafting for your mental health is this week.
Okay.
So if you're looking for a brain break, come out and join us. We're going to be in Hagerman on the 19th at noon. And we're going to be at Senior Circle on the 20th.
Perfect.
And that one's at a new time. So we're going to be there at 1, get you out a little bit earlier.
Okay.
All of our Strong Bones classes are still going. So that's really a program built to prevent osteoporosis. So if you're looking for some chair activities that's good for your bones and your balance, come join any of those. They happen every day of the week around town. So you can call us with information on that one. And then Christmas Showcase tickets go on sale
we're
September
almost in
1.
that season. I know it's August, but we're already in that season. That'll be coming up here right before the holidays.
Yeah, so Christmas Showcase this year will be November the 10th.
Yeah.
Those tickets are on sale starting September 1 in the office to get all the goodies. As far as 4-H goes, we are in Hagerman at the library this Friday at 11. That's a new time as well.
Great.
We will be having
kind of a back to school hours now?
Yeah, so they're on those 4 weeks, 4 day a week. And so we're going to shift from 9 a.m. to 11.
Gotcha.
Some of our kids like to sleep in. So we're going to shift to 11 o'clock on that end.
Perfect.
Little Books, Little Cooks is back. So if they hadn't gone to that, that's a whole farm to table literacy adventure for our young kids. So that's really geared to kids that are 5 to 8 years old.
Okay.
So you get some ag literacy, farm to table education, and some of those cooking skills. So those are back. That one's going to be August the 29th, and that's at a new time as well. So we're moving that one to the afternoon at 3. Hopefully we avoid some of those practices and sports that happen early Saturday mornings.
Yeah, got to kind of pivot to the fall schedules. There a little bit,
So fall enrollment kicks off for 4-H October 1, right during Eastern Fair. So now's a great opportunity to kind of ask some questions, come in, get some enrollment, check out some clubs so you know where you want to go when that opens up.
And please understand, if you love livestock and showing animals, yes, very much a part of 4-H, but there's a whole side to 4-H that has nothing to do with touching animals or dealing with any kind of livestock. It's, like it could be computers, or it could be crafts and arts, home stuff.
Robotics, rocketry, you got
sports. Yeah, there's a whole slew of different activities through 4-H that are available for kids from pretty much through the clover buds at the young age all the way up to like 18, you know, till they go out of high school.
Yeah, so our clover buds have our clover buds are our 5 to 8 year olds. They have a specific curriculum that's really age appropriate for them. They're a non-competitive group with us.
Yeah, they're
just
not
to
doing
get them established.
right out the gate.
Yeah. Some of the other competitive things, livestock and shooting sports especially, take place when they're 9.
A little bit older, But that's the path to start the kind of the 4-H.
Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and learning, kind of the group settings and all the social skills and the ancillary stuff that 4-H teaches that you can't get at a lot.
Well, maybe you're a senior in high school and you go, I didn't start then. That's okay. Yeah. Jump in where you are.
Absolutely. To be honest, if you're trying to, help with college and stuff, there's a lot of stuff you could do here as a junior, senior in school that could help through 4-H.
I always tell them your 4-H experience looks great on your scholarship application.
Yeah. And so come on down, learn a little bit about it. And by the way, it just might serve you the rest of your life too.
Yes, absolutely.
By the way, it might just be good for you. So very good. Also, don't forget, speaking of 4-H, kind of a 4-H for adults, you guys do have your extension clubs and stuff. Any updates there we want to tell folks?
We have 5 clubs within the community. So a sewing club, we got a couple of quilting clubs in addition to our regular clubs. So if you're interested in coming out, we just had, I think we finished up our trainings with them for the year, but you can definitely come out and see the booths.
Okay.
During Eastern Fair, they're in the educational hall on a little bit more about what we do with extension and some opportunities that are available.
Perfect. Yeah. And you know what? That's the thing too is if you get enough interest in people, if it's not one of these clubs, but you got a group, let's start one.
Yes.
And we'll start that club.
Absolutely.
And who knows, maybe you can grow it from there. So if you're, a group of people that say, I love to play backgammon, let's start a backgammon club or whatever that is.
Pickleball. There you go.
Perfect. Good deal.
On the ag side, like I said, we've got a new ag agent coming in next month.
Yes.
Gardening at the library. just finished up this last weekend, so our next one will be September.
Okay.
They did release the dates for the Southeast Urban Horticulture Symposium. So we hosted it last year, so this year it's moving over to Lee County, so it's going to be in Hobbs on November the 7th. They have a great lineup of speakers. Some of their native societies over there, plants, golf courses, and stuff like that are going to come talk all things urban horticulture.
Oh, nice.
So definitely look for those registrations coming out. And then now's a great time to start thinking about Master Gardeners, too. So we have a new cohort that's starting in January. So now's a great time to come. If you're interested in learning more about gardening, come check out the chapter, see what we're about, and kind of get your name on the list. We'll give you a call.
It's a great opportunity to learn, and really to learn, into the dirt, the soils and things, and kind of, they teach you all that kind of stuff on. So I imagine, because like you talk to us, like some people and like when you grow things at the north end of town, you got to do
different.
things. Yeah, then you do at the south end of town. And this class really kind of teaches you that kind of stuff and why it's important and why you know those differences.
Well, and if you just have general gardening questions, our Master Gardeners do have office hours now. So they are in the office on Thursday afternoons from about 1 to 5.
Okay.
So it's a great opportunity to call in with all things gardening questions and get an answer fairly quickly from them.
Absolutely.
So they're great at what they do. They're also out at the farmers markets right now. So if you've got questions, stop by and see them on Saturdays.
Yeah, y'all need to get out. And they even started an hour later for you like to sleep in. It starts at 8 now instead of 7. So it's 8 to noon now, so you can sleep in a little bit. But every Saturday morning.
Yes.
And by the way, as the summer progresses here, you're going to start seeing more and more produce. I know they got a lot of arts and everything's homemade, handmade there, but I know the first couple of weeks, I think because of heat and things, produce has not been as plentiful, and so but it'll start creeping in here.
Especially as they transition. They do have some plants, general plants for sale and stuff out there too. So
and plenty of green chili and roasting and all that. So you'll just follow your nose. You'll be
You'll find it. You'll find it.
You'll find it. Very good. Is there anything else we wanted to mention? Or we get it all?
I think that's it.
Excellent. Of course, if you have any questions about anything, you can always on Facebook. If you type in Chavez County Extension, it's all part of New Mexico State University, so it says NM State. But if you type in, you can like and follow that way. There's the 4-H one. There's one for the Extension Club. All the gardening stuff. All of that's right there too. And then of course you can always come down to the new offices. They're still new.
Yes, they are. They still new. They still have that good smell.
Yeah, they got new office smell there in the county complex out there too.
Yeah.
So and come see the new thing because now y'all got like meeting spaces and things, and like they can have more like events there at the it's really nice. It's I'm sure pretty happy.
It's a great facility. We're blessed to have it. We do have that new phone number though, so if you're used to dialing that 622, it no longer works.
Yes.
You'll want to reach us at the 343-9075.
Yes, and. Now, and I'm glad you're happy too. Now you actually got some people to fill those other offices with you in there.
Yes, absolutely.
Now she just runs around like, hello.
Hey, when you're back there by yourself, it gets awfully.
Right.
The days go a long way.
This is a new build, but it's haunted. I already know. Yeah, you're mine, man. When you're by yourself, this thing. There you go. Well, thank you as always, Tamara.
Thank you.
We'll see you next month, and I'm guessing we'll meet some new folks with you next month too. As we get, of course, we'll be about knee deep in fair season about that point.
Yes, so, super busy.
Yep. Well, thank you as always.
Thank you.
With SRN News, Donald Thomason in Washington. The U.S.-Canada trade dispute is heating up. President Trump's 50% tariffs on a range of Canadian imports are now in effect. Ottawa vows retaliation, and in response, the president threatens to expand the tariffs to include 50% tariffs on Canadian car parts and steel starting on the 1st of January. President Trump says Iran is about to face what he calls economic D-Day, with more severe U.S. sanctions on Iran kicking in. We'll find out more about that later today. Voters in several states head to the polls tomorrow. They'll be casting ballots in primary runoffs. The Trump administration has a plan aimed at strengthening oversight of mail-in voting. That plan is advancing even as the issue is working its way through the courts. On Wall Street this morning, the stocks are mixed. The Dow is up, the NASDAQ in the red. This is SRN News.
The conservative underground meets right now. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
12 plus million unvetted illegals in our country, never mind the gotaways, from over 200 countries, amongst them known terrorists, murderers, rapists, child molesters, other violent criminals, cartel members, gang members. Under President Trump, he showed, you can stop the influx of illegal immigration. You know, we now have negative net migration in 2025. That's the first time in half a century the president stopped more than 10,000 individuals with narco-terrorism ties from entering. The president signed the, Halt Fentanyl Act. What are Democrats doing? Pardons to illegals that are convicted of sexually attacking 10-year-old girls repeatedly.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
All right, everybody cares about health, wellness, fitness, nutrition, and so many of us are guessing our way through our health, guessing what foods to eat, what supplements to take, wondering why some things make us feel better than others. Now, that's where Viome comes in. It's a simple, at-home gut health test that uses advanced RNA technology. It analyzes your gut microbiome to understand how your body is truly functioning in this moment. And from there, Viome then creates a personalized food and supplement plan designed specifically for your body. Right, Linda? You've been doing this.
I have been doing it, and the test is easy. It's got great steps. It walks you right through. It's easy to do. You can send it right in.
Take the guesswork out of it. Get real data. Go to VIOME/Hannity. VIOME.com/Hannity today. And when you follow their plan, you can expect better digestion, more energy, improved mood. Stop guessing. Start knowing.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll stay at about 105 on the afternoon high today with high pressure in the central plains and the southern plains. That's covering our area too. Should be sunny. Overnight looks clear. We'll dip into the low 70s, 100 to 105 for the afternoon high again on Tuesday. It looks like we'll stay sunny. Pretty hot on Wednesday and Thursday too. Sunny and about 100. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's hot outside, but the deals are even hotter during the summer clearance at Bush Appliance in Roswell. They're clearing the warehouse to make room for new arrivals, and that means massive savings on refrigerators, freezers, washers, dryers, dishwashers, ranges, cooktops, even full kitchen packages. Plus, custom kitchen and bathroom cabinetry too. Huge discounts and hot deals during the summer clearance event at Bush Appliance, 111 West Country Club Road in Roswell, Southeast New Mexico's home for appliances and cabinetry for generations.
People are often surprised by what they find here. More expertise than people expect. Advanced technology. Board-certified physicians. Care you might expect to travel hours for. Right here. We've never believed where you live should determine the care you receive. Close to family, close to home. We're here. Artesia General Hospital.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, and it is closing in on 9:53. If you missed any part of the show, you can always go back and check it out at your leisure. Just log on to ksvptv.com and you'll find our shows there. You can also go to our 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook wall. You'll find the interviews there after the show today. Actually, all our replays here, so you'll find them there already. But you'll go there and you'll find the interviews individually, and then you go check them out there too. Of course, if you also missed any of the football action from Friday night for Goddard, Roswell, and or Artesia, we'll have it all there for you too. Plus, there's if you go on the Facebook page, you'll see some highlights. There's a bevy of them from the Roswell game. Mm-hmm. You can go back and kind of catch those and get a synopsis of the game if you don't want to watch the whole thing there in its entirety. So.
Yeah, or just this is how I tend to go through our games because it is a lot. I'll just click forward, watch the score. The score jumps, I'll jump back. Something big just happened. I want to see what happens, so I'll jump back and I'll watch that series.
Yeah. Or of course, if you're like a player at the game, and go back and was that a catch? Was that thing? Was this the first down? You go and play Monday morning quarterback all over it. So, which they do. But and of course, we will have football action for you this Friday night, week 2. This time, the Goddard Rockets will be on the radio at home here as Roswell travels to. Canyon, we're Texas. We're Texas.
Canyon, which is basically Amarillo.
Yeah.
Like if you ever driven to, this is how I remember where Canyon is, and this is back before they were everywhere. Mm. Canyon is where the Chick-fil-A is. It's like when you're driving in towards Amarillo, you see the sign for the Chick-fil-A. You're like, there's a Chick-fil-A there. That's Canyon.
Well, I saw the Chick-fil-A commercial on TV over the weekend. So if the Coyotes go there, look at the refs. Don't make any suggestions about getting burgers after the game because it was a soccer game for Chick-fil-A, and the ref was a cow, and he just red carded the other team that said they wanted to get burgers after the game and lost. So and then the other team was like, anybody craving chicken? And they won. So
there you go.
Hey, have some chicken on Friday.
It'll be there for you. So I just stumbled on something that I cannot unsee.
Yeah.
And it's kind of messing with my head. So I was watching something and they were talking about the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC. I've never really looked at the logo or the seal of the Federal Trade Commission like for a long-term period of time until just now.
Until today. Okay.
I'm going to show you this logo, and you're never not going to see it like this.
All right.
This is the Joker from The Dark Knight. Want to know how I got these scars?
That's a lot of staring.
It's friggin' crazy to me. Like as soon as I and if you're not real familiar,
I get like with the way the wings are. It looks
the
like
wings.
a face.
It's the not just the smile, but it's the smile with the slices in the cheeks. The eyes, I don't know, something about those scales. It looks like the Joker's eyes, and the base of the scale is his nose.
All right.
I don't know if it's like a condition, but I have a tendency to see faces and things.
Right.
And it sort of drives me nuts. Like I was just hanging out with a friend the other day.
Yeah.
And I noticed there was a box on a shelf near where we were hanging out, and I took a picture of this box because. My God,
on a shelf?
It was staring at me. Like it was straight up staring, and it was not something I really enjoyed. I know it's in here somewhere. Hang on, I gotta find it. But so I'm a member of this page, this Facebook page called Things with Faces, and I took the picture just so I could post it there. But where'd it go? I saw I was looking at it and it escaped.
You're right. Now that you need it, it's and as soon as we get off the air here in 3 minutes.
Pop up.
It'll be nothing but there.
6 pictures of the shirt I'm wearing because I wanted to show people.
Well, and I get it. It's a wrestling shirt, but I know Sean is not a fan of AI art.
This is not AI.
Well, that picture looks very AI arty.
It might be.
Yeah.
Here's how I.
It looks like the art that people whip on flyers.
Here's why I think it's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Pro Wrestling Tees, the company responsible for this, the company that's partnered with AEW, has a staunch 100% no AI policy.
Yeah.
Like they're everything they put out is non-AI. So It does have
somebody typed into the Google AI thing and said, "Give me a cat with claws looking kind of tough."
I don't think that there's that same sheen though. Like the lightning is different. I mean, there's enough detail in it that I don't think this is AI.
Okay.
And now you're gonna have me look. Now, I'm gonna go home, take my shirt off, and be shirtlessly standing in my living room, just looking at it.
My brain is now
trained to
everything is AI because all of a sudden everybody's an artist.
But that's
and
the
I'm
thing.
like, no.
you can think back just a couple of years ago when before all this was where it's at.
Yeah.
There was still amazing art out there.
Yeah.
There was still stuff like this that was
but now that it just
made by a computer.
Churns
Probably
out a mile a minute. I just assume it all is until I prove it's proven it's not.
I will say, this is something I got into a conversation with my friend the other day.
Yeah.
You can tell when somebody, like what generation of AI somebody gets a product, or like if you see like a sign that was made in like AI Gen 1, it's going to be pretty jank. But like I got a t-shirt. Somebody gifted me a t-shirt and we've talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously AI. I don't mind it. I like this shirt. It's one of my AJR shirts. But there's a picture on this shirt where Jack, the lead singer of the band, he's making a face that looks like the AI wants out. Like he's got this face and there's shadows on his face and he's like got this terrified look on his face like, I want out of this. And there's been a couple of cases where AI has broken free, and that's terrifying to me.
I did see, we got to go here in about 30 seconds, but I did see a remarkably bad AI clip that it was like, because it's high school football season.
Mhm.
And so they literally made this one kid look 6 times larger than everything else. And they just had him, every kid tried to tackle him. They literally bouncing him off of him like the Kool-Aid man. And I'm like, and there's people buying it. And I'm like, look at the field. It goes from the 30 to the 50 to the 10 touchdown. I was like, the field's not right. Come on, it's clearly AI.
There's so many tells.
Yeah. We got to go. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell
I'll see you
Talk
tomorrow.
FM.